right, so back to business as usual. Maybe. I certainly think. Huh. Go ahead and get comfortable. So, hey there, heroes. My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber. This is the Daily Grind Birthday Week Edition, which means it's really just more of a double daily. Yeah! Today is April 16th. Today is the 4th day of this week-long endeavor that I was going after. And I realized something. I realized, I really am not like a full-time streamer. Nope. I am definitely a hobby streamer. Well, maybe not like a hobby streamer, but I'm definitely like more geared toward like doing like part-time stuff. Or at the very least, actually, you know what? No, scratch that. Scratch all that, because that's not accurate. I am not a special event streamer. I can come up with like some ideas for these special events, but they would have to take like the full week, and I might get sick of it by the end of the full week, but that's kind of fine depending on what it is. The important thing, though, is that I am a consistent streamer. I am a dailies streamer. I like having this this bland ass macaroni style streaming content. This is good for me now. Like, when I started doing the daily grind, it was to help stay on top of my dailies. It was to help keep dailies in Final Fantasy and Arena from clogging up my actual personal time. And it's done wonders for me. It's actually literally done wonders for me. Like, if I'm going to put as much time into these as a part-time job, I might as well act like it's actually a part-time job. And that's been good. I've really been enjoying this. Sometimes I wonder what it'd be like to be able to do this like full-time, but then I have to remember that would involve doing these for like probably quite a bit longer than I would normally do, right? Because the way that Twitch works is that it wants you to go for like at least somewhere between 3 to 5 hours. It wants you to go from like 3 to 5 hours. That's a bit more than I want to be spending my time streaming. I finish like 2 hours, I'm typically about stimmed out. Unless we can get wife on, in which case it's going to be exciting wife time. If I'm just on my own. Also, just like depending on the thing that I stream, right? Because I watch Northern Lion clips. I watch the stuff that he streams. Sometimes I actually watch the VODs. And like the chill games where you just like, you're relaxed. You're playing some probably lower tier games. That makes for good chatting stuff too. So like, that's fine. 3 to 5 hours? Yeah, definitely couldn't do that. Yeah. That's what I'm finding now too. I probably could if I was medicated. If I was on Adderall or methadone or anything like that, you know? Anything from my ADHD, I probably could. Definitely not right now. And even if I could, like, I would actually rather be using that time to be working on a book. So in that sense, the first goal has been met, right? I had like some extra, I had some what I would think of as like extra streamer energy that I have burned off. And it'll be like that for at least another month. Next month though, there's a new game that comes out. And like, I know how I have a special schedule to track my games this week. It's a game that I'm really fucking excited to play though. So like, I'm probably going to try and monetize my hyper focus on that by streaming. And I think that's probably where I want to be with doing a sort of like actual game streamings, you know? If I have a new hyper focus, something like that, then I could theoretically use streaming to at least make it so that way I am just playing and having fun. Yeah. And then, like, I'm also thinking about what I want to do for, like, anniversary streams or anything like that. I can probably cut that down to either a singular day that goes a little bit longer. I'll have to make sure I actually plan for it. But that is possible. Especially since if I do it for like a singular day, I can also have like a video prepared that I can put on during the lunch break. So that way I don't feel like I'm just leaving people hating. Leave me alone, yeah. Could probably go for that amount of time and longer. But I actually do have a part-time job with babysitting your niece around 4 times a week. Yeah, exactly. Like, I am a self-employed working adult. I've got things I want to get done. If I get that extra focus, you bet your ass I'm gonna put that focus into book stuff and video stuff. That's the stuff that I really want to do. So, what we're gonna do on this last day of the belated birthday bash, I'm gonna stream for 4 hours. These first 2 hours, I'm gonna put into Magic, and then the second 2 hours, I'm gonna put into Final Fantasy. That way we kind of get caught up on stuff. We make up for the time that I wasn't spending doing stuff. We chill. We go back as normal. It's just a little bit longer. It's special because it's more. It's more of the same. But it's like bigger. Something like that. We can talk about that more when we get to the yapping portion of Final Fantasy later on. So right now... That's right, gotta cast blue spells, gotta cast green spells, gotta attack with creatures. I'm just gonna go ahead and go to some magic, and we'll just keep this going while we play. Also, Lucky, thank you so much for the biddies. Thank you. There are times where you just gotta indulge yourself, right? You gotta indulge yourself and be like, God, I am so back and holding back. I am going to order a fucking... Oh, real quickly... How fast is it? Paths of Help. Attic. I go first. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta go. Yes, actually, I do want to... like, order a crispy chicken sandwich and a cheeseburger. And I'm going to fucking stack them on top of each other and make a super sandwich. That is what I'm going to do. I need to grab a forest. The island comes into play. Tapped. Put a card on the battlefield. The other will go into here. Because we're going to do this, and then we're going to... both fights. That's what I did after surgery, actually. After I got my bottom surgery, I was like, I am so fucking free from dieting. I'm gonna fucking do this. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be amazing. Oh, this is the missing messages for earlier. Look at a sandwich. Not your thing, but god damn it. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Alright. Kozilek's Unsealing. If I cast anything with 4 or 5, I get to make a couple of spawns. I think I want... Yeah. I need to cast Cure now so I can start dropping Coma. Now this is 5, 9. This is 7 plus 3 is 10. So if I draw like 1 land, I can cast both. That's the light halfling. That's not a land. Do it like this. Alright, into the royal to bounce, spark double to hit Kiora, into the super, Planetary Genesis. Probably just doing spark double, copy Kiora. And then return target creature you control to its owner's hand, return target creature you don't control. I could like do it with Coma again, but I also just like winning. Yeah, so if I hold on to Psych Rift, target creature you don't control. Explain where all the mayo went. God, stop that. Who the fuck do you think I am, JD Vance? Okay. So what even was I talking about before I got stuck in the sandwich mode? Defense of the Heart. don't care about that, right? Right. So go to combat. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, Nissa dies. Make a bunch of assholes. Psych Rift. Actually, hold on. There's a chance that they have, like, Tamio. I'm gonna overload this. That way they don't get a chance to respond. No, he messes with couches. Look, you can't tell me that a man fucks a couch and not expect me to question what else he's fucking. Or knows he's already fucked his boss more. Let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna... We're cool. By the way, I did check the arena settings. It's actually really easy to switch it to Spanish and vice versa. So that's definitely a thing that I'm gonna try and like ease myself into doing. I've got that tism barrier going on right now, where it's like, but that's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how it's supposed to be. No, Yamano. So I'll have to ease myself into that. Maybe try a little bit of it off stream, until I can get comfortable. And then maybe at some point we'll have fun doing it on stream. We'll see. Let's see. Opponent gets to go first. I'm leading off on Sprawl. Cronus is here. Kraken's gonna take a while to get going. Serpent of the Pass. Also gonna take a while to get going. So let me catch Cure pretty quickly. That might be enough. Esper Sentinel is awful, but I'm gonna try and like bully my way through it. Yeah, change feels weird with autism. It does. I think I want to go with Wooded Foothill so I can surveil. Specifically, if you know it's not a bad thing, it's not going to hurt you. It could even be good, but you have to fix yourself first. And now for something inappropriate. Was playing the 2022 Saints Row. Finally found Thor's hammer in the desert. Bad thing. Did it on my other account so you couldn't upload the picture. Oh, less. Yeah, less. Pass to the end. Yeah, that happens. They're not going to get the draw card. I'm going to crack this. Let's grab free surveil. Ah, rampant growth. I got 3, 4. Oh, need rampant growth. I need fanatic on. Now fanatic taps for extra, so now we have 9 mana again. We can go to Serpent of the Pass. Ideally, we could cast Kozilek's Unsealing and Serpent of the Past, but I don't think that's the world we live in. And Lantax. Okay, opponent's just like shitting everything out. They get to redraw with Halia. Good for them. Drop the Verge. Let's see. I want to drop the Ceiling, but we don't have time for that. I need to get going. No, I have enough mana to play the Ceiling. It would just like draw them extra cards too. Yeah, that's fine actually. They get a draw. Wait, what? God damn it! I misplayed. I miscounted. Fuck. God damn it. That's a huge whoopsie for me. I mean, like, I get the Unsealing now at least, but we're gonna take an absolute ass beating here. 11 damage. Is it worth throwing away my elves here? I think it is. Yep, and then to get to the angel. I'm getting fucking run over. I need help right now. Let's see. Artifacts and creatures targets will don't untap during the attacks. Okay. So this would buy me a little bit of extra turn. I think that's what I need to do. Yeah. So we're just going to draw 3, cast. I get to cast Uprising, Migration Path, Turn Timber, put a creature from one of them onto the battlefield. That's huge. Path of Annihilation, also huge. Path of Annihilation gives us a life gain buffer, which I think helps us survive better. Derek's Uprising is a huge redraw. Maybe cast a creature spell 7 or greater. We're going to cast this Rejuvenation next turn, though. Go for the win. And then, am I paying... Ooh, Serpent of Yawning Depths. Huge. Pass turn, no attack. Okay, so they've got like a huge Chungus, but not as much pressure on everything else. That's help. Yep, that's Leonardo. So they just have like everything. Well, not like everything. This Giver of Runes means that the Path of Twin Veil is actually a pretty dead card. I'm gonna get bonked for 7. Yep, can't stop that. Oh, and they're going to pass the turn without being able to make a new angel. That's good for me. Alright. Land for turn. I might be paying the tax here. I don't think so, actually. This is whenever you cast a creature spell. Whenever you cast a creature. I've got enough mana to pay for... Ooh, Spark Double gets the copy. Now we get to go absolutely fucking nuts? The Fairy's Protection, you say? Fairy's Protection, so that way they don't get to be tapped down. What do I think about that? I think... I have an absolutely massive load of cards here, and I don't actually know if I'm going to get to do anything with them. That's an actual real problem. Oh, but I've got this Disciple Freely so I can sack and, like, redraw. That's pretty cool. I think I want to hold up the Path of Veil. Bro, sack another creature? Yes, I want to sacrifice... this thing 10,000%. Oh, and then it bounced all the things. Right, it bounced all the things. Does that mean I just fucking die? It might mean that I fucking die, but the Essence Chandler's right there. Yeah, the Essence Chandler's right there. Now I have to pick 7 cards to keep and discard the rest. I'm going to pick Path of Twin Veil for sure. I want... Hold on to the Disciple. Hold on to Land. Big Fish. Arrows, kind of whatever. Kiora. Removal spell. And also... kind of hard to decide. Oh. Right now, that Yanni... Oh, God. Right now, the fucking Giver actually is what kills me, isn't it? I can block this SS Chandler because this is only whenever they lose life against Flying and Vigilance. But now I've lost both of these flyers. I can chump block that. That's currently 7. Whenever you gain life, that's fine. Don't care about that. Like, I just have to survive this turn, right? Yep. Yep, you sure do have all the life triggers. 7/7 life trigger. We can chump the 20/20. I can take 7 in the air. Wait, hold on. So they're gonna preemptively do that, so that way... Alright. Target creature you don't control. Target creature you do control. Target a creature you do control, so... Like, they might just have a mana tithe for this, and in which case, like, if they do, I guess, GG's. I can still find Psych Rift and just completely reset them and win. Also, did they go straight to their end step? Looks like they did. So I can actually bushwhack now? Yeah, I can bushwhack. This is a fight spell. I can fight the giver. What do I want to do? I want to cast Icebreaker Kraken first and foremost. Oh, Patriot's Humiliation to get rid of my thing. That's not cool. Hullbreaker Horror is really good here, right? Yeah, Hullbreaker Horror is really good. Oh wait, this is also just like tap down for their stuff and then I can swing out. But the Hullbreaker Horror is also just constantly resets all their stuff. Yeah, let's just go with the Hullbreaker Horror. Like, why complicate things? Return target non-land permanent. Bounce. What, the big flyer or the stupid flyer? Bounce the exam. Bounce the top thing. What? Just bounce the Oh, and now I just like get to keep all my cards forever? Yeah, I get to keep all my cards forever now. Thank you. See, this is what we were doing. This is what we were setting up for. Ah, that feels good. The only life point that matters is the last one, right? And then we just, like, get all of the stuff. Like, that's just a massive chain of stuff. Secret Restoration. Off of the Monstrous Vortex, which re-triggers the Hullbreaker Horror. Which means we can bounce their big flyer. I don't care about Leonardo, like, at all. But even if we do, we're going to get to bounce him. And then, like, cast the Bushwhack. Bounce another card. We can fight the Giver. Just like disassemble their entire thing. And we have, like, giant monsters that swing in and kill everything. Yeah, actually. We bounce the Exemplar of the Light. We bounce the Leonardo. And then all of our sea monsters are good to attack in. Yeah. I love this deck when it pops off. Okay, now that I'm out of a sticky situation, I want to try and process what that thing that Lucky posted. Saints Row finally found Thor's hammer in the desert. That thing you did on the other account so you couldn't upload the picture. Was that like a tie-in? Was that like a reference to the original Thor movie? The original MCU Thor movie? Feels like it might be. I gotta cast some blue and white cards. So I've actually been trying out a rebuild of the Hilda deck. This could be awkward. I don't know if I've cracked the code on this or not. I think there's something to be said about ships and pilots decks and how you need to build them. At first I was thinking, okay, we'll just slow the game down by trying to be a really grindy death and taxes deck. But in reality, when you're doing ships and pilots deck, like, you have to recognize how many pieces you're trying to do to get the thing going. So since Hilda triggers off of tapping untapped creatures, she is the payoff. She is the payoff to doing any sort of tap. So we can go ahead and play good tap cards. And we can use some of the other gifted gift fit food stuff. We'll see how this works out. Yeah, it was a reference. There are a bunch of references to movies, TV shows, and other video games hidden as Easter eggs in the game. That's actually really sick. That's actually sick. That is a reason I might check out Saints Row sometime in the future. The Mind Skinner can't be blocked. The source control will deal damage to an opponent. Prevent that damage, and each opponent mills that many. So it's a 3-mana 10-1. He's got exactly 1 land in his hand, so that's already not going to work out. This one has 2. We get to go first, so Gemstone Caverns doesn't actually tap for mana. Disruption can come down. Aetherize is here. Karn is here. Get Lost is here. We have some interaction. Not like a lot, but we have some. Not sure how I feel about this, but Karn can work out if this deck ends up running a lot of mill effects. Oh, there's a Darker Waste. Forgot it since you haven't found it yourself, but there's a Doctor Who reference. But in a Saints Row sort of way, instead of the TARDIS, it's the Turtis. Ah, okay, it's one of those. Into the Flood Moth, Force of Negation. Pass the turn. What I would like to do is get Karn down so that way it turns off their Arcane Signet. I have to be careful though, because like I don't want to actually turn it into a creature until I'm ready to tap it down. Okay, yeah, so they do just have... Oh, they have Ghost Vacuum too. That's interesting. Well... Did they have Spell Pierce? Spell Pierce would do it. Well, I just blanked 3 other cards. So that's cool. I've got Force of Negation, but I can't actually use this to play in Protect Hilda. Lanes. Let's see then. I can play Hilda. Alright, let's play her. She resolves. I can gift a fish. Gifting a fish isn't bad. Pondering's alright. The problem is that the Mind Scanner can't be blocked. You have damage to an opponent, so this can actually like KO Karn. Actually, I'm going to do this on their upkeep, I think, because then I can force his backup. And then we're also going to gift the fish, so that way they just like have a token. I'll push the Aetherize. This also keeps them from like redeveloping their board if they want to counter. So, like if they counter, then I get to counter back, and then they can't cast the Mind Skinner this turn. Chat, I just want to let you know that I really appreciate the fact that you are like literally just hanging out here. Oh yeah, every day, baby, every day. I get to take out a cryptic command too. Huge. So like, it's kind of a pseudo time walk here now. Unable to scream on Hilda. That's not ideal. I can get lost the enchantment. That turns the fish on. Before I do that, let's ponder. Mother of Runes, that's kind of like a free get rid of the enchantment, but then I have 2 dead cards after that. I don't think that's what I want. I think I want to shuffle. Illusion of choice. They can go ahead, have a couple of artifacts that Karn can now just start plussing. So that was interesting. You're hitting out as much as you can before job hunting next month. Good luck on the job hunting, Sam. Good luck. You want to finally have like your own money? Just hope the work hours don't suck. Me too. Me too. But at least we'll always have Discord. Mi amiga. I'm actually fine with the fish getting in a hit on Karn. I'm just trying to like dig and find something to get Hilda going. Alright, yep, the Mind Skinner's down. I don't have anything else to deal with that, so that thing can and will just one-shot Karn. Spell Pierce is not what I wanted. And honestly, I guess if it can't be blocked, there's no reason for me to hold back. Like, they can chump with a fish. That's whatever. They're not going to chump with Mind Skinner at all. Oh, Mia. Unfortunately, the breaks just didn't go our way. I think I do need to consider running that Memory Deluge then. Goodbye, Karn. Now the artifacts are back online. They can use the River Churn. They can Ghost Vacuum. And that's just like generic graveyard hate. We don't use our graveyard that much. So I'm less worried about that. 07 plus X plus 7. Oh my god. I am bottoming out really hard here. Lorna the Third Path is not what I want. This is plus, let's see, currently 5, so this would be plus 5 minus 5. So yeah, that kills. Yep, the Ghost Vacuum can go in, that's fine. Alright. There's a couple of cards that we would have liked. The Elvish Mariner would have been huge. Let's say Levy. What are we gonna do? Wait, by the way, okay, so like, I want to make this announcement now. When Bumpy Ride comes out in next month, yeah, a Bumpy Ride comes out next month. It's a Spirit Tracks like. It's a Spirit Tracks like. I.e., you are getting to drive a train full of cute Animal Crossing style animal passengers. Yeah, can't block that. We're gonna get mill 10. Yeah, we're gonna get mill 10. And then no real loss. We didn't lose any of our engine pieces, that's for sure. When Bumpy Ride comes out, I'm gonna do some hyper-focus streaming on that. I think that's going to be the better time for me to do any of the, you know, the longer form streaming when I have a game that I just really want to hyper focus on and I know for a fact that I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah, that's definitely it. Do that. Do the... You're really not helping me out here, Jack. See, this is where I tend to get the most frustrated with games of Magic. When I just like completely lost my agency and I'm in top deck mode, which means I need to make sure that I'm building my decks with more selection. I'm going to go ahead and concede this now so I can tweak the deck a bit. But no, Bumpy Ride, Train Game, comes out next month. I'm going to do some hyper-focus streams on Train Game because I got to play the demo for Train Game, and I know for a fact that I'm going to love Train Game. And I think giving myself the flexibility to stream like that is good. Okay, so there are a couple cards that I'm starting to think is like auto adds to blue decks that want to go long. Consult the Star Charts and Memory Deluge are really, really good, especially for those longer games. If we get into a position where we can top deck either of these, we can use these to find the specific answers that we want, and that's huge. Galen, thank you so much for redeeming the lurk. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is this a deck where I'm spending a lot of mana? I think it is. Greaves are here because they protect Hilda. This is one of the few decks where I feel like that's probably important. Gypsum Pilots decks are probably one of the only Brawl decks that really want to dedicate a slot to Greaves for something like that. In that match, we got to see what happened when we just like rely on Hilda to be our draw. But Hilda doesn't draw us any cards unless we have our enablers, so we need like just really powerful selection, which might mean that we want Dig Through Time as well. Yeah, I think that's what we want. Rather than just like powerful draw engine, like Hilda's going to get us quantity over time, I think. So what we need is just good selection. And what do we want to do? Frost Titan is good top end. KT the Archive is alright. I don't think there's anything like in here that inherently standardizes what we have. It's just like really good utility plus really good recursion. How do we want to do this? What are we going to cut to try and get this in here? Currently at 26 creatures. And all those creatures are geared towards helping out the strat. Like Selfless Savior, Mother of Runes, Law Rune Giver. Giant Killer is also comes with a spell attached to it. Esper Sentinel, Spider-Man, Voice of Victory. Yeah. Okay. Giant Clave Apparition. Redeem is here because it's also like additional protection. Recruiter helps us search for stuff. Gonna have to look for a bit. Like a sleep from last night, catch up to you. No problem, man. You go take a good nap. Take a good nap and just let the dulcet tones of Hero Girl rock you off. We'll just hyper focus. We'll hyper focus. We'll talk about the stuff that we usually do. Don't understand. But like that. Willing to clear the guard. You search for toughness. Spellbinder, you were meant to slow down. Don't know how much I actually need Spellbinder. Let's see. Iron fine, Aetherize fine. Don't think the flares are what this deck needs. So if I do it like that, I can get in our 3 selection card. And hopefully, this starts working out. I guess the theory is that Hilda can also make a creature force on her own. But again, we need cards in order to make that work. I am obsessed with trying to make Hilda work. Like, she's the Ice Queen. She's Hans Christian Andersen's Ice Queen. How can I not? This is Aura the Imitator, the fairy card with Flash, Flying, and Lifelink. 3 mana 2/2. That's a lot of keywords for a 3 mana 2/2. As long as the top cover of your library is a fairy or an instant, you can look at it anytime and you can cast it. You can cast fairy spells as though they have. How am I feeling about that? I don't think the rapid hybridization works out enough. The Verity Circle doesn't do anything without payoff. I don't think this is the hand we want to keep, despite the fact that it has the R3 land. Oh, and by the way, folks, we are streaming extra today to try and raise some money for my dream tattoo, the tattoo that I've been wanting for the past 10 years. We're gonna get a sick-ass dragon skeleton tattoo on my forearm. I wanted to get this for like the past 10 years. And I always held off because I wanted to make sure that I was in charge of my own life before I got this tattoo, because that's what it was supposed to signify. It was supposed to signify agency, autonomy, independence. Finally have that. I think after living in Vancouver for about 3 years, I can feel pretty confident about that. So, fine. Now's the time to get it. We're actually almost there thanks to Ron and Jess. We're a good 62% there. So if you have like a couple of extra bucks to donate, the link is right there pinned into the chat on both YouTube and Twitch. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. If you're able to give anything, and if you can't, but you still want to support, then hey, you know what? Following, liking, subscribing, all that does good stuff. Probably better. I want to hold on to self, to Aetherize. Humiliation on their creature is going to be pretty good, I think. I want to hold on to the Vista. That's what I want to do. I want to hold on to the Vista in case I get a brainstorm effect so I can shuffle some stuff away. Subtlety, that's a good one. I can always pitch cast Subtlety with Aetherize. Voice of Victory. Let's go ahead and cast that now into open counter magic, because then they can't develop their board. Now they have to decide whether they're going to cast their commander or not. Okay, let's go ahead and crack now. Toucan, hey, long time no see. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, that resolves. Go ahead, cast Humiliation. I should have waited until after voice had resolved, yeah. I should have waited till after voice resolved, that way they don't have like a force negation available. How's Magic the Gathering? Magic the Gathering is going good. Magic the Gathering is, honestly would be a lot better without the Universes Beyond that's currently getting shoveled out. I wrote as much in the... Ooh, better Triumph on that. This target creature counters back my voice. I guess the Selfless Savior would have been... That's fine. That's double counterspell though. How do I feel about this? I have to cast something. I can at least double spell if I go Selfless Savior Boromir. I guess I'll cast Boromir first. I'm casting both these spells regardless. Memory Lapse, sure. What was I talking about? Oh. I don't... Actually, no, I don't remember. Never. What do I know? Rankle Pitiless Trickster. Lifelink and haste as long as I control no creatures. When he enters, pay a life. When you do, each player discards a card and sacks a creature of their choice. Whenever a player discards a card... Yeah, what if we don't? What if we, like, shut that off for a turn? I'm telling you, Subtlety is, like, surprisingly good. In a format that's going to be really heavy focused on creatures, you know, get that extra tempo from subtlety can make all the difference. Go ahead, take the 2 there. Get the sound different, sure, why not? Dogmare? Do you have yet more protection? You do. Tails End that you were holding for Hilda. That feels bad. Each player discards a card and sacks a creature of their choice, which means I'm going to lose Boromir and Selfless Savior for just 1 life. Well, that sucks. Oh, and then they could just, like, sack Aura and then undo my perpetual stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Whenever a player discarded cards, perpetually get 1. Now it's a 3/3 lifelinker. Hate that. Dig through time. That's kind of what we're wanting to play. But we'll play Hilda so that way we can turn off Rankle's lifelink. And now I have to decide whether I'm going to play out anything else. This is one of those alchemy cards? Yeah, this is an alchemy Rankle. Into the Floodmaw. How am I gonna do? This is a, let's see, Aura's a lifelinking 2/2. Gotcha. Pass the turn. I can't into the Floodmaw Rankle. That would be really heckin' bad. Let's see. But I have the ability to just, like, get everything. Don't have any be precious about. I can get Dovin's Veto, Seagate Restoration, and Razorgrass Ambush. Or Razorgrass Ambush. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna... And yeah. So now they basically have a future sight for fairies and instants, which is awful. They have man land for day. Sure. Attempt. Alright. They didn't have in their 2 cards. I'm still getting beat the shit out of right now, though. Alan the Kindly Lord. 2, huh? 2. I think I probably just named Creeping Tar Pit for this, yeah? Yeah, I'll have to name Creeping Tar Pit, so that way it's 5, 6... No, that's 8? That's 8? That's so obnoxious. I can enter the Floodmaw. What does that do for me? I can enter the Floodmaw as a tempo play. That's probably all I can do. Yeah, let's name Creeping Tar Pit. And then pass the turn, I guess, because Hilda's not attacking through Talion. Okay, they hit a land. They still have something off the top that they can do. I guess I could into the Floodmaw Talion. If they tap out. The problem is that Aura just lets them, like, play them as Flash. And they might still have something off the top. Cryptic Tower. Bounce and then draw. I can't Dovin's Veto. I can't stop that. I just couldn't find any of my ships to go with my pilot. With preserving my life total here, I think I have to. Oh, and they had rewind off the top. Ouch. Okay. We have Ponder, Brainstorm, and 3 spells for digging, and we just didn't see one. That's just how the... Thank you, deck. Alright. Oh, right. Yeah, I just lose life off of the Talion because the mana values too. Hold on. Double check the numbers real quick. I know I don't have like a lot because there just aren't a lot of quality enablers here, but just for the sake of like figuring out what those numbers look like. Plenty of cards that will give my opponent's creatures the tap downs. Nation, Paladin class, Law Enforcement, Giant Killer, sure. Running Gus is not there, but this is this is here because it's basically 2 mana, exile a creature, and give them a creature that I can start tapping down. Talisman, File, no. Narset doesn't tap them down. Dream Shackle Guys taps them down. That's Elvish Mariner. I really don't have a lot of actual ways to tap things. Not a lot. I also don't want a lot because I need these cards to be good enough to stand on their own. Show me the select. Wait, hold on. Tap target permanent? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 with some good selection ought to help out. Ponder, Brainstorm, Memory Deluge. Consult the star charts. Like, we have a lot of good selection here. Full resources also just like grabs 2 now. There really isn't like a there aren't like a lot of options. Actually, hold on. The Verity Circle also taps creatures. It's expensive, but it does tap them down. Then we want to make sure that we have like big mana. We want to make sure that we have big mana. Let's just double check real quick. It's even better if we can put them on creatures, because then our recruiter can find them. Yeah, the Elite Arrestor would be all right at blocking like early on. I want to be leery about how many of these we get because they also just don't have any power to win. The Law Rune Enforcer, at bare minimum, is a 1 mana 1/2 against a control deck that is a 25 turn clock, which doesn't sound good, admittedly, but like that is at least something. So we don't want to play any of these 0 power Durandas. Feel my wife rolling her eyes in the background. Google do Topplgeist is like 1 permanent fun. This is whenever I tap an untapped creature. Yeah. Hold on. Did I already have Narcolepsy in this deck? Was Narcolepsy on Arena? I want to say it was. Yeah, how did I forget about Narcolepsy? That's actually huge. Then we can go back to looking for what we want. There's Enters Play tapped. Guys doesn't do a whole lot. We also just, like, we have to be careful because the tap down effects for some of these cards are really heckin' powerful because of the limited environments that they are coming from. Like, there's no shortage of cards that tap things down. I'm gonna recast this. But it's like, so many of them are just so suboptimal that you really gotta dedicate resources to actually just finding them. That's the real. I really don't want any of the expensive ones. Turn an artifact to your hand? No. We don't. So we want to avoid cards like the Lionfish because this does not tap things down on its own. We're already playing A plus B does the thing. We don't want to play A plus B and then also we need C. That's a recipe for disaster. Just tap 3 untapped creatures you control. That's almost good. That's almost good. Tap 2 spirits. Petitioners. No. Type binder. Yo. This is tap target permanent only if you have 8 or more. That's no good. We have like Frostling's variants. You can see how it all just like completely falls off the further in you get. You have your instep untapped, folks. No, that's not. Maybe just like having the narcolepsy though. I completely forgot about narcolepsy. It does like nothing against mana dorks, but against anything else, it's a pretty reliable like enabler with Hilda. Now I have to think about what we're gonna add that's gonna work with this now. Dock mirror protection field. Is this too slow? I don't want it to be, but it might have to be. Narcolepsy off the top with Hilda. Use that on a creature that wants to attack. Beat in. Just says no. Super Shredder! Okay. That's going to be a really good target for all of our tapping things down effects. Question is just, what else can we do? All Rune Enforcer, Esper Sentinel, Voice of Victory, Memory Lapse. It's a little awkward because our tap land is in our hand. But if we can go turn 1 Esper Sentinel. Wait. Oh, yeah, Jacqueline. Super Shredder gets to come down. Maybe it's actually Law Rune Enforcer then? With mana value 2 or greater, this actually just like locks down Shredder. Okay, so they do go for the Shredder. Okay. Works out for me. So now, what do I want to do? I want to hold up Law Rune Enforcer. This Strict Serenade can counter artifacts, creatures, or planeswalkers. So, okay, we're going to Surveil Royal Disruption. It's a little bad, but... Oh, fuck! I was supposed to leave up mana. God, I was supposed to leave up mana so that way the Law Rune Enforcer can actually tap down the Super Shredder. Fuck! That's why I was thinking about play. Okay. Take your free shot. Take a free shot. Everybody gets 1. It's not gonna be likely that they're just like gonna one-shot us. I don't like. There's no hatred effect on Arena. Although if now they're just like set up to kill all of our creatures. Yep. Okay, so there goes the Law Rune Enforcer. That's bad. Then I could have at least tapped it down in response. Yep, and there's Ozolith. So now I need to find like one more thing to really make this work, and I knew that was going to be a dead draw. Ah, this sucks. This really sucks. I'm gonna have to memory lapse the next thing. Play Crafter to sack. No. Play Crafter on the next turn. I can Hilda. The Scalding Tarn's gonna actually just pump up the Shredder. I've got this Strict Serenade that I can use to counter the Play Crafter too. Never another permanent leaves the battlefield, so my Voice of Victory also just like sucks. Life's hard right now. Life is really hard right now. Yeah, Strict Serenade on the Play Crafter seems alright. So then what am I doing with this fetch land? Am I even doing anything with this fetch land? I don't think I am. I can go Lauren, I can get rid of that Ozolith. That's gonna pump up the Super Shredder again. If I do that... Ah! I don't like being in this situation. What if they just, like, thought sees the serenade out of my hand, too? Alright. Yep, give yourself another counter. The problem is, I do not respect Super Shredder, like, at all. So it's embarrassing when I actually get my ass kicked by it. Yep. I'm gonna try and wait until... I don't get to wait. Yep, Super Shredder's gonna get bigger again. Grab my basic. We'll Strix that. I need to start using Lauren as a way to just, like, draw and then reload. Bio-Galadriel, you do nothing! Nothing! I guess I could double block. That's something. No attacks. Pass? I could use the Esper Sentinel with Lauren? No. Alright, Ophiomancer, sure. Yep, we're just gonna get our butts. Pass the blocks. Use the Voice of Victory for sure. Use Lauren as well. No. I think I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna use the Esper Sentinel. I really don't want them just, like, getting a free card during their second main phase when they're gonna have 2 mana. I really just need something to tap them down. Now, the good news is, Bio-Galadriel is gonna turn Lauren into a draw too. So there is that. If I had, like, a narcolepsy... Ah, okay. Agatha Soul Cauldron. I don't think I have any, like, cool activated abilities. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. We're both gonna try and, like, dig deep. Topogeist! Hello. And Spell Pierce. Okay, maybe this works out. Oh, shit! The Delirium does not work out. The Delirium does not work out, because I have instant land creature, and I lost my artifact. God damn it. Okay. I can make some chump blockers, though. I can make some chump blockers. And then, yeah, pay the 1. Now we get to make a 4/4. And no attacks pass. I guess I'll block with Lauren and the token. Thoughtseize, huh? I mean... They would just, like, let this counter and then not lose the 2 life. This still means I get a double draw with File. Rankle. This means that everyone's gonna hit and we each sack a creature. This is frustrating. And yet, I don't feel like an intense crash out. I'm just sad, you know? Okay. So, we have to block Shredder. I can't block Rankle, or I lose my Geist. If the Topo guys had Delirium, that wouldn't be a problem, but the Agatha Soul Cauldron just completely shut that down. So, it has to go like this, right? The problem is, if I do it like that, and Rankle makes us sack a creature, then I lose my Toppelgeist. Well, I guess I was gonna lose my Toppelgeist anyway, right? Yeah, if I'm gonna lose my Toppelgeist anyway, I might as well preserve my life total. Because then they just sacrifice the token. I think that's what I have to do to try and like preserve my ability to do literally anything. As long as Hilda's alive, we have a chance. But like, goddamn, are we fighting an uphill battle right now? An Aetherize would be huge. Parting Gust. Exile target non-token creature. If the gift wasn't promised, return that card to the battlefield on its own. Well, what am I gonna do? Just like not? I can grab Karn. Karn would be huge. I've got Wash Away, Karn, Recruiter. I've only got 4 mana available, so if I want to use Parting Gust, I have 2 mana available to do something else. Rankle's a problem. Ophiomancer. The Snake. Super Shredder is literally just a one-shot, so I have to exile Super Shredder. I already played my land for turn 2. The Wash Away doesn't do anything. I can't do jack shit. Because as soon as Rankle hits, I have to sacrifice Hilda. They're going to sacrifice their Snake because it's absolutely just free money. I can't grab Karn because Karn doesn't do anything this turn. I guess I'm just losing Hilda either way. I guess I could grab Recruiter of the Guard, grab Solitude, exile Rankle that way, but then I would have to pitch cast it. This is sad. Sad. I can't think of a way that I can wiggle out of this. Guess I'll grab the Wash Away and the Recruiter. And then... what? Grab Recruiter. Yeah, just this doesn't work out. I'm gonna lose Hilda. They lose their Snake. That doesn't matter. It is what it is. We fought. We tried. Perforator. Crocodile. I could counter that. That doesn't do anything for me. Because then I'm gonna die to the fucking Shredder. Like, sure. You put something on Hilda. I was going to have to sacrifice and lose her anyway. But I guess now they don't even have to do anything for it. Like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and exile Shredder. I could technically use this to flicker Hilda. Oh yeah, I guess they do just like get to turn all their cards with counters into we each draw now. And I can't stop Rankle, so... each player discards a card, each player loses a card and draws a card. I'm gonna lose 2 life off the Hilda. Sure, I knew that was gonna happen. Otawara. Is there anything at all that I can grab here that saves me? I don't think so. I don't think I have anything that just like swings the momentum the other way. Solitude, Apparition. You give me back. You do not gain. Drain check with guys at the beginning of combat of turn. Target creature that's not untapped. That doesn't do anything. Can Giant Killer kill Rankle? Uh, that's frustrating. The tempo loss that we took from having our surveil land interplay tapped fucking destroyed us, I think. Because because like we could have staved off at least one turn. No, if we had 2 mana, if we had done 2 mana open, I could have held up the memory lapse. That would have put the Bitter Triumph back on top of their deck. Would have bought me another turn. The Shredder would have gotten to attack in either way, but now I have a chance to slow the Shredder down on a turn where he's a little bit bigger. It might have been worth throwing it back just so that way the archive doesn't mess with our tempo. Because against a deck like Shredder, you would have to focus on those really tight margins. I really didn't want to have to bolt myself with the other land, though. Maybe that would have been worth it. Raph and Mikey Troublemakers. This should be a deck that we don't have too much trouble against. Flat Blood Farm Verge. You don't tap for blue. Log Enforcer does. Recruiters, whatever. The Brainstorm. I'll keep this. This feels like a pretty decent hand. I'm also not going to play the Law Rune Enforcer. Sometimes these Raph and Mikey decks are playing sweepers like Brotherhood End. And I really just want to like make sure that it's out there the turn before. Like if we want to make sure that it's active, we want them to be at turn at 5 mana. Yeah, 5 mana. You can play the Verity Circle. Verity Circle helps out quite a bit. If I have to lose out, maybe I should have gone for double weight, actually. Meticulous Archive in this weather. See, if I hold on to the planes, that's fine. Full resources. Forcer. Automatic Scoop Concession. I was probably going to put back Lauren and then redraw the Recruiter, I think. I don't really need either of those. Actually, yeah. Put back Lauren. And no. This archive can actually be used to put stuff back. But I want to develop the board a bit. Full resources as an instance, pretty good though. We can get the Verity Circle going. It might be tap out for the Verity Circle because I know that they're not doing a whole lot. So we want to make sure that we have Plains and Verity Circle bare minimum. I'm fine with redrawing the Archive, but then we redraw the Lauren on the next turn. We're technically Brainstorm locked, but that's kind of whatever. Because we still have like plenty of stuff to develop out. So then we can go drop a 3-drop or whatever, even use the Seek card. We're not really getting much on our attack with creatures daily, huh? I'm gonna swap this out just so we can try and get that. Got this Ultimecia deck that I'm working on. Just a bunch of really tiny Saboteurs. We'll see if we can clear that out. And then in about, I would say, 20 minutes, I'm going to take a quick lunch break, and then we'll come back for Final Fantasy. Let's see, what are we up against? Lonus Cryptozoologist. This is the one that makes us reveal top cards of our library. We can, and they put a non-land permanent mana value X or less from onto the battlefield under their control. We get to steal all of our stuff. We got Jill here. We got Bottomless Pit. And we get Hydroponics Architect to lead off with. I guess if I just like hold the bounce stuff, then like that basically turns Lonus into draws a card. But I know that they're doing like other stuff besides just like stealing cards these days. Random land in your hand And yep, just randomly gets the ability to turn lands into. Let's see. I don't need to play the Harrier Strix yet. Like I could. Yeah, I'll play the Harrier Strix now. I'm gonna play it specifically because then I can start using its ability as a mana sink. Yep. Sure, yeah. Be wary of the clue shenanigans. Just go beat down. Pass the turn. I'm gonna start looting away some of these extra lands, I think. Yep, Fnatic. Yep, they're ramping out super hard. It might even just be using the clones as a way to like reload after ramping out with a bunch of creatures. This creature enters investigate twice. This is just look at the top X cards and then take one thing, right? So I kind of have to be careful about like potentially just like getting blocked by a flyer, I guess. Draw a card, discard a card. Let's see. Go to combat. Miscellaneous Wanderer? I guess, hold on, is this non-land? Yeah, this is non-land. Actually, hold on. Do I even want to ninjutsu right now? I don't think I do, actually. I don't think I do. Because the ninjutsu, because the Moon Circuit hacker is not like getting in anytime soon. The ground is way too clogged up for Circuit Hacker to do anything. Okay, yep. They get to go ahead, look at the top 5. Grazlik, they got some really good ones, which means I get some really... Yeah, which means I get some really good ones now. Yep, they get a redraw off this. Pass, no blocks. Yep, they get one draw. Let's just hope that we get to resolve this bottomless pool. Okay. Yep. Play a bunch of small stuff. That's fine. Also got Jill's Dominant here. That's another way that we can just like bounce stuff out. But Grazlex is a 3-drop. Spell, sir. I guess I was supposed to like tap and use the Harrier Strix last turn. Could have discarded the Sprite for that. Do they have Tail's End? Oh yeah, I can actually use the Snare Master Sprite here to like stop the Lonus. That's pretty good. Alright, now we get a draw. That's a miscalc. Pass the turn. Changeling Chompling destroys the room. Not a huge loss. We are just going to bury this guy in card advantage if we can keep going. But they have all those clues, so their card advantage is actually probably a lot stronger than ours. I've got miscalc here. Yeah, let's just go straight to punchies. And now it might be worth using the Moon Circuit Hacker. Yeah, now it might be worth using the Moon Circuit Hacker since the hacker can go back to hand. Mystic Snake. That does let them get another clue into play. But now they also just like don't get to counter my spell. Alright, we get a free scry 2 and then a draw. Combat Research is really good, and so is Siren Storm Tamer. Yes, I will actually take both of those. Alright. I would like to hold up Miscalc as well. So let's go Siren Storm Tamer. Combat Research on the Architect. Hold up Miscalc, hold up Storm Tamer. And then we can actually use the Strix to tap down the Birds of Paradise. As long as it's legendary, it gets +1/+1 and has Ward Wall. Free Strider Lookout. How do I feel about that? It's got reach, but I can tap it down. That's probably fine. You can tap it down with this, the Snare Master Sprite here even. Rex Sage. That almost certainly... Hold on. They've got mana to pay for that. Target, counter target spell or ability targets. You or a creature you control. So this would basically mean that they don't get to crack blue in response. It also just like, yeah, they're gonna use that to kill the combat researcher. I think I want to convert this now so that way they can't. And it does just mean that the Birds of Paradise doesn't get to turn into a free blocker. So yeah, they can go ahead, they can destroy... Oh, they're going to destroy the Moon Circuit Hacker? What? I mean, I guess it does some stuff with Brazilix, but that is almost definitely wrong. Also, I've got Shiva's Dominant to like turn the Free Strider Lookout into nothing. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. This is a transform. Beastbinder. This is 3 mana. I think I like doing this more. Yeah. Autopay. Tap this thing down. Go to combat. Just go crash in with everything minus Grazilex. Okay, so let them resolve the Free Strider Lookout. I'll cash in this Storm Tamer here. Because we're about to draw like 2 cards. Draw more card. Draw more card. Brainstorm, you say? Brainstorm is pretty good, not gonna lie. Can't be blocked by creatures power 2 or higher or greater. Whenever it attacks, target up to 1 artifact creature or opponent becomes a 2/2. Can't be blocked. Not particularly great in this specific setup. But how do I want to do this? This Brainstorm could be huge though. I'll fire off this Brainstorm. Ponders are being a redraw is really good here. The Glenda Lundroid Guardian has haste. What do I want to do? I don't want the Lonus just like dealing something. Put the non-land cards, mix the value. Actually, no. Put back the binder. Put back the land? Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll ponder. And that's also not bad. I'm just gonna take a shuffle though. Ooh, Wan Shi Tong. All right, we've got some fun tips and tricks here. We're close. We're close to pulling this one out. Oh, okay. That's fair. Sometimes you just get hoofed. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know what? That was completely unnecessary. You did not have to put out a clone effect when you already had game with one hoof. Now you're just showboating. I was gonna let you do like big swing out with your giant hoof math because like, yep, hoof at the top. That's a good one. Not when you're just gonna like do the second one for the screenshot. Dak Faden, greatest thief in the multiverse. Gain control of target artifact. Could take control of my mantle of the tides, I guess, is what I was going to say. I'm not sure how much I like this hand, considering I don't have a turn 1 threat, but the memory lapse, we're on the play. So we get 2 land, we can play the Legend Shredder. They can play their second land. They either get to bolt the Shredder or not. But then we get to put with the Mantle of the Tides. This also gets to attach to the Shredder. I mean, it's a free win at a point where the free wins don't matter as much. And at the Crossroads is a commander that just gets like so much free value. Like to the point of absurdity. It's a 3/3 flyer, so that's going to block most of what we have. Look at when he enters, look at the top 5 of your library, put a creature mana value 4 or less from among them onto the battlefield. So like whenever he comes into play, just like you get a free creature from the top of your deck. Whenever another creature you control leaves, he transforms into a 4/4 flyer. Lands you control have give your combat and your turn Earthbend 2. Ghostly Pilfer might be how we keep up with this. Quench is alright. Pixie, Grazilex. This is okay. I would love to draw a Brainstorm so I can shove this Sanctuary back to the deck. This is awkward. This is 1, 2, 3 islands. So I think I'm supposed to hold off on this Rainforest. Brazen Borrower. I have a Quench. I want to start like resolving stuff, but right now my hand is like really tempo heavy. So I can't really get going just yet. Summon Fenrir. Let's go ahead and stop that so that way they don't start accelerating. Now I feel better trying to develop. I can drop Grazilex. What does that do? They're not going to drop the Ghostly Pilferer. It's not yet. But I like being able to develop Grazilex here. What am I going to do on the next turn? Next turn, I would like to Brazen Bar with Ilmig Pixie. I think that means I'm playing the Pilferer here. And then I do have to, like, just be wary of Wan Xin Tong. Now that, ever since Wan Xin Tong got published. Oh, that is, that is a doubler. Permanent entering the battlefield causes a trigger ability, but ability to trigger triggers an additional time. Yeah, we're definitely going to develop Pixie, I think. Mischievous Catgeist. You're theoretically good. Quench. If I do this and put Quench on top, kind of have to though. Yeah, we'll put Quench on top so just that way they can't like swing for the fences. Mischievous Catgeist. With Aang, though, like, they just get to play Aang. No, wait, I was supposed... Ah, shit. I was supposed to not play it because now I can Brazen Borrower and Quench, but instead I have the Pixie out. Okay, so they're gonna Uro instead. That's fine. Oh, shit. I forgot about the fucking Starfield Vocalist. God damn it. I was still supposed to Brazen Borrower in response to that. Shoot. Oh, no lands? What? Wild. Alright. Well, now we still have an opportunity to do it now. So that's pretty big for us. Alright. Now we can go ahead. Now we can actually go ahead, drop Grazilex, and just go attack in. Brainstorm in this economy? Actually, yes. Okay, it's not a total loss that they just like get double Uro triggers though, because now they have to spend a whole turn to redevelop Vocalist, or they can go for Aang, and they know I have Quench to play around. You like the Vocalist? Yeah, the Vocalist is a pretty good card. So they're not going to play into Quench. Brainstorm gives me something to do on my turn, and I can shuffle cards away. Yeah, so let's go ahead and we'll Brainstorm here. They can't Washington. They might, like, have removal? Okay, they're going to Aang Swift Savior. That's what they're going to... Aang Swift Savior on Brainstorm? Sure. Whatever you say, Chief. Decline. Spectral Sailor. So then, I make it so that way the Ghostly Pilferer... Oh, wait, shit. 5, 6, 7, 8. God damn it. They're just gonna have... I don't like any of the Aang cards. Can I ask you something about Magic? Yeah, absolutely. As long as you're okay with, like, answers that you may or may not enjoy. Let's see that. Let's go ahead. We're going to discard this Mischievous Cat. And then I'm going to... I don't know why it doesn't want to use the Mystic Sanctuary to pay for it. That's, like, objectively the best card to put in here. Alright, so now we get to draw 2 cards to help make up for that. Land. Tome of Gadwick is alright. I can still cast the Brainstorm. I think I'm still casting the Brainstorm. Okay, because now we can go ahead and put back... I think we're putting back the Spectral Sailor and the Island as weird as that is. And then I am going to go ahead and shuffle those away to get a new island, play the island, hold up the Quench, pass. Why is Time Lord one creature type, but Infinity and Stone are 2 separate artifact types? You got me. So they just have Coma. Yeah, I don't have anything I can do to beat Coma. Coma might have just shut down on this. I want... You know what? I am going to go ahead and pay the 2 here. As I assume Coma's going to tap down the Ghostly Pilferer. Fading Hope. How does Fading Hope help us get out of this? I've got Tome of Gadwick. Got Ponder. Got Quench. I don't have enough to play Ultimecia just yet. Toma's gonna have another one. What do I need? Probably digging. Wash away Silver Raven. With Coma out, I need to start going wide. Aang is a pain in my ass. None of these do it. I could hold the wash away for the other Ain, and that's probably like good, but I don't want the other ones, which is why I probably should not have played my land out first. I should have held my fetch land. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a shuffle. Illusion of choice. So then, Fading Hope. Got Tome of Gadwick. This would make it so that way the Pixie at least trades with Aang. I don't know. Coma just like locking down everything I try and do is... And I need to make sure that they're using up all of their serpents to try and lock down as many cards as possible. They're going to use it now. I'm pretty sure this Ghostly Pilfer is the only way that we really win, and I need to make sure that I'm developing. Oh, they are going to go ahead and do it on the Pixie. Gotcha. Well, okay then. Let's go discard this card. Go combat. Tween in. Get a redraw for Wash Away. Get a redraw for Silver Raven. Okay. Yep. I asked for a shuffle. Did I not? Oh, wait. No. Did I not use the shuffle? God damn it. I must not have used the shuffle. Gotcha. All right. Then here's a Wash Away on Coma. So that way they can't just like do it for free. Pass the turn. Now they know, now the Quench that they know about is offline, but we still have this Wash Away in case they try and resolve Ain instead of Coma. I guess they could still try and like get us on Ain. Yeah, they got Starfield Vocalist. Oh, they warped it in. Yep, okay. So first we're going to take our free draw. Then we're going to go ahead and cast Wash Away, see if that gets them. It does! Huge! 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 Oh my god, I can't believe we got there. Okay. Honestly, I think that's way too early of a scoop. I'm going to guess that... I'm going to assume that they had to... I'm going to guess that they had to go take a shit. Because, like... This is still a really not great position for me to be in. I'm going to get to attack with the Pixie. I'm going to get to attack with the Pilfer. I guess I could try and resolve Ultimecia in this sequence. And then we just like start loading up on all the cards in our hand. That might be how we take over. And win the Time War. That might be it, actually. But that's a good GG to end it on. Well, end the Magic segment on it. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. I'll say like 10, maybe 15 minutes. And we're gonna be back at the top of the hour with some Final Fantasy. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Only got Burning Rune Demon and Kimia. I'm probably gonna exile card. Oh, they got the 7 so they can play their Sinner's Judgment. Then they are through more counters. Wow. Okay. Bit of a miscalculation on my part. Bit of a very strong miscalculation on my part. Yeah, that's really all we can do. Damn. This card is obnoxious, especially when you're in mono black. I don't have too many answers for it either. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think they really care what they take. That doesn't help. That doesn't help. Yeah, we're just gonna go. We're just gonna go for broke. Let's see. Remove X counters from target. X is the mana value of the exiled card. I mean, that technically works. But at that point, that's just going to be delaying the inevitable. We need like a hard answer. Villas would be a great... hard to have, but... Because like theoretically, all we have to do is kill them before we get that third counter. There we go. That's what we want. Yep. No! Massive misplay! Oh, I forgot about the stupid mill. Oh. Oh, can I get an F in chat? Forgot about the mill. Oh. That's not the first time that I've been got like that. Oh my god. What feel bad? I can't. Oh, what massive field bad. Oh. Well, at least I have a clip now. The only reasonable thing that we can do is just 4 dodge, 3 dodge, 2 dodge. Fucking go for it. Holy shit! Holy shit! Touchdown! Touchdown, Brody man! Holy shit! Oh my god! That's a touchdown! It's too late for me. Oh my god! Okay, come on. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted! No! No, come on, there. I think what we do is we go ahead, we play that out, and we continue just building our board. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead, play this out too. X creatures and... Oh my god! Oh dear mother of pearl! What the hell? Seek X creatures, enchantments were X... Oh my... Oh! What the... I don't have an emote appropriate for this moment. What the actual googly moogly? Holy... You know what? You know what? I don't have a way to come back from that. GG's. Wow. Wow. I'm not even mad. Just like... What the hell? And then... Activate. Ooh. Ooh, Nelly. Ooh, Nelly. And are we just gonna, like, completely time out here? Oh my god. It's gonna be fucking Pegasus! Come on. Activate. Nope, nope, nope. Ah, so many powers. So much creativity. It is my mind. It overflows. My mind overflows. It becometh. Alright, then we'll go ahead and we'll swing in. We're not gonna be blocking the scarab. Oh! Oh! Oh, they didn't have the mana to pay for Pact! Oh my! Well, that's not exactly how, we were hoping to win that, but... Oh my, okay. Okay.
Extending that lead. Olsen makes the tackle.
This is pain.
13-yard gain, and it'll be a first and goal. It's first and goal at the 7-yard line.
Couldn't be me, Brony. Couldn't be me.
The home team come out in the 4-3.
I was right there. I was right there, and he just spun around me. How did I fucking... Oh god, this game's over. Let's see. The blue version has flying, the red version has first strike. I think I actually might be fine trading my Brackus for that. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh my god. That's game. That's game. Holy crap. Oh my god, I forgot he actually just had a skill before specialized. Whenever he attacks, another attacking creature gets XO to end a turn where X is Scanus' power. Thrakus doubles. Oh my god, stay. Oh my god. Spam Zero, you have my condolences. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry.
Oh, poor baby.
Okay, so you know what? Just for them, I'm gonna go ahead and exile the Sarah's Emissary.
You are so bad mannered.
No, this is bad manners.
Okay, what? That poor frog! What did it do to you?
Way too much damage for what a 1/1 should be doing.
You right. Oh, hopefully we get a big card off of Lorehold. We earned it.
No, I'm not.
Damn.
I'm not gonna. I mean, I could.
You could have destroyed artifacts and enchantments.
Actually, I think that actually would have been correct though, because it gets rid of the gift of fates, right?
Oh my god, you're right.
And why is he moving back? I mean, if he has a Skull Knight, then like, yeah, we actually just lose. Well. Okay. Again? Again? Oh,
Yeah.
please, why? Alright.
Why?
Alright, you know what? I'm gonna fight these. I'm gonna fight. You wanna fight? Fight. Let's fight.
Fight me. Fight me.
There we go.
He's a
Oh,
channel your
wait,
inner.
hold on. He's getting money? Yo! War Masters are now my new
That's a-
best friend.
There's a lot of money.
Yeah!
Dang.
Like, yeah, Dan. How can you be scared of something that gives you so much money?
Exactly.
Like, wow,
Yeah.
like it just started the open season on the Wall Masters. Am I trapped? I am not. Excellent. That would be a clever trap. Whoops! Accidentally, trapped the player. The way that you constantly re-equip everything. So then... Wait. I'm not factually trapped, am I? Wait. Hook shot out of the hole. Thinking about it. But, like... There were... Wait a second. Alright, and we are back. Musa, I did not see your message before I went off of the break. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright. You now start the second point of the stream, which is, as always, our Final Fantasy portion of the stream. Where we come on and we start just doing other dailies. Got dailies with Moogles. I've got dailies with the Wondrous Tales that I need to finish. Fortunately, we have the extra time today that I can actually work on these. I might actually have to queue for Christmas, which is crazy. First things first, we're just gonna go ahead and do our move. Head on over to. This was a good link for learning stuff, chat. You know what the biggest change between streaming from our normal 2 hours to going to a 4 to 5 hour stream is? Just with the way that I have to structure it. One, I don't like the I don't like having the lunch break right in the middle of it. I understand why NL streams so early and then he ends right about his lunchtime. So that's the first thing, right? The second thing is I miss having lunch with my wife. The way that I normally do it is that the time that I start streaming is the time right after I've finished having lunch and I've been able to relax for a few minutes with my while we watch something, while we eat. And just, I don't get that anymore if I stream like this. So that's the first thing. When we do end up getting wife stream unlocked, going to be an extra hour tied up on top of what would normally be, and that's fine. I think that still works because I'm still keeping to a normalized schedule of getting to relax for like 30-40 minutes while I make food. Oh my god, Jab. I have known people who say that they get a hour-long lunch break and they have no idea what to do with themselves. I'm like, you know, I kind of get it. You live in a society, quest accepted. And like, I kind of get it, right? If you're used to only having half-hour breaks, it's very easy to just be like, wow, I'm so used to having to eat through my food as quickly as possible so I don't get docked for, you know, being 2 or 3 minutes late because it actually takes time to, you know, go and get the food if I didn't pack. That when we actually just like have time to sit and digest and, you know, be social or whatever, like, it's a huge change, and I get that. Me, I used to, when I finally switched over to an office job, I had a lunch break. I started watching anime on it. I was like, okay, this is great. I can spend some time. I can eat while I watch. And then, like, there's actually time to finish the episode. You always talk with your coworkers, I guess. Yep, that's always something that you can do. It's crazy. I hear people talking about, like, oh, you can get a game of this and this in during your lunch break. And I used to think that they were fucking insane. You mean that in the half hour that you have been given for mandatory lunch, that you are setting up like a whole board game, playing the game, and then breaking it down, and then that's how you're choosing to spend it rather than like eating? In fact, no, they actually meant just like, oh, hey, yeah, you get a full hour off, and then you can use that. That's what you get to do. Wild. Absolutely wild. But the hour does seem like a little egregious to me. I'm much more of a 40-45 minute lunch type of girl, which doesn't fit on the clock as neatly unless you're self-employed and you can kind of just wrap up your workday whenever. Or if you're in Spain, it's like 2 hours. Is it like 2 hours? Like, I mean, so like 2 hours kind of works if you're going to like regularly have lunch out. or if you want a lot of time to make a super elaborate lunch, I'm more of like a light lunch eater. I like my heavier meals being at the end of the day, when I can have some real good shit. Because you're not having like sandwiches consistently, or maybe you are. But I don't know. I always associate sandwiches as more of a lunch food. The siesta culture is stronger there. Many people take naps. God, you're right. Work mandated naps is pretty powerful. And honestly, like, I can work that into my normal day if I... There are just, like, some days where I am sleeping in the morning, like today, and I am mad because I wanted to get more writing done. If I get into that, then, well, for one thing, I'm probably exhausted, right? I've been finding that having to consistently wake up in order to do my stuff means that I'm not sleeping in as much as I want to. But I don't want to write during the day because right now, it's really hard to focus. There are so many cool people to talk to, chat. There's so many cool people to talk to, and it's just so much more stimulating than being on my own writing. But it is what it is, and you gotta, like, buckle up, buddy. That's right. I should double check the streams. Did that go in? I like this repetitive streaming though. It just works. It just works when I can do all the fun stuff. All the fun stuff on my own time, without the ever-watching eye of society on me. And we could just, like, hang out, do the thing, enjoy the time that we have each other while it's here. As always, I'm going to be sad when some people can't come. I'm going to be sad when some people have to be like, sorry, can't make it. The stars are not in position. Ow, crunchy. Ow, crunchy. My neck feels like a fucking... what's the thing that's, like, really satisfying to crumple up? How crunchy. Not a slinky. If all the money used for war were to be used for universal basic income, everyone could both work on what they want and hang out with their friends. See, we keep saying this. We keep saying this. This is not a new thing. This is not a new thing. Like, the United States alone spends twice as much as any given country, as the second biggest country, right? Over twice the amount. And a lot of that is because the money's being funneled into independent contractors and stuff as, like, you know, basically a means to enrich the rich. As in, they are literally making things that don't need to be used to, you know, try to artificially create jobs and to funnel government funds into the pockets of people like Musk. Like, Musk has so many fucking government contracts even before the whole, you know, Trump administration thing. On top of that, we can have several studies at this point showing that universal basic income is a net positive. Several at this point. Every fucking time. It's over. But this is just theory. This wouldn't work in America. How are we doing on reputation? We're getting close. Alright, so now we gotta actually figure out how we're gonna get these last couple of wondrous. Go and do the 50 right now. That'll be one. I think we have to sign. We have to sign up for Crystal Line Conflict. That's fine. We can go into Brave Flux's. Brave Flux's long stop is usually nice and fast and quick. No, it's not much, but bless the New York City mayor for actually taxing the rich. Yeah! Yeah! And guess what? They're not fucking leaving. The rich people are always like, oh, if you tax us, we're gonna leave. We're gonna take our business elsewhere. They never do. They never do. They would. There is a point, right? There is an actual point in which people who are paying that top percentage will leave. But it's not over the paltry percentages that we keep proposing. Like a 3% income tax on people who make over $1 million a year. They're not going to leave over that. That's whatever. They don't care about that actual amount. It's all rhetoric. It's all empty rhetoric for them. Rich people just do not want to give up their money. They will piss and cry about it, but like you actually start, you know, taking them out, and it's just like, nah, it's too much effort. Too much effort. They could leave like Townville City, but not New York City. Well, here's the thing, right? New York City has so many people that work there but don't live there. They have to commute. What a lot of people are hoping for is that programs are finally going to go into place to help affordable income housing. That all of this extra taxation is going to help with infrastructure. That they can start making the city into something where people like you and me can actually live, instead of just being like, you know, the city where the only people who can afford anything are those same top percentage. It's actually insane. Actually insane. But also, like, you know what? I saw a story about Mamdani just, like, addressing an egregious point of a bicycling path across a bridge. Like a pain point that was super easy to address and fix. And he's just like, actually, you know what? We're just going to fix it. That is good. That is it. That is great. I still love that line during his debate in the primary election, where he said something to the effect of, what I lack in experience, I make up for integrity. What you lack in integrity, you can never make up for with experience. That line goes fucking hard. Best friend lives in the state of New York, but it's not like the New York City. Doesn't live in Brooklyn or Bronx, but a little way. Essentially works from home. She doesn't need to go there every day. Yeah, that is the ideal, right? Like being able to work from home and then being able to just like work from your home with the suburb. Because that's kind of the same way where I am. Like, I say I am from Vancouver because that is the easiest approximation that most people are going to know and understand. Also keeps it kind of vague for doxing purposes. But we do actually live in just around Vancouver, not like in Vancouver itself, but like most of the population. Because it turns out Vancouver is fucking expensive. Vancouver is fucking expensive, and because it's like one of those port cities, there's like a ton of people who just have summer homes here. They don't live here full time. They heckin' treat it like an investment summer home. So now there's less houses for the rest of us. For the cost of a house in Vancouver, you could get like 4 or 5 houses back in Ohio. I fucking hate that. Fucking hate that so much. Like, the downside is that you have to live in Ohio, but still. Yeah. I need to remember to go back to... And then we also have to remember to put the experience on the job. Good old Gridania. Let the be it. Oh, you are teasing me with this one. You are teasing me with this one. You have a chance for a double liner if we get it right here in the top right corner. Oh god. I am going to look. I'm going to dig around. I'm going to dig around for like a new apartment or something that we can move into. Because we need to be in a better spot. We need to be closer to where the people are. So that way my husband does not just... That way my husband isn't so tired. So that way my wife and I don't have to drive so far out to go to weeklies. Slaying conflict, crystal. Casual match. If I can just live closer to where we want to be. Problem is that it's just so much more expensive. And we're paying like 2,000 CAD to live where we are now. And the price is going to keep going up regularly through rent control. Something you like about your city? A 3-room apartment can be 530 CAD per month. Yeah, that's pretty fantastic actually. That is like amazing. That's a quarter of what we're paying. Maybe what I need to do. Well, we already have like a plan to save some money. I'm gonna start making some pre-packaged breakfast that my husband can take, rather so that way he doesn't spend so much money getting breakfast from Tim Hortons whenever he heads out. Tim Hortons definitely, the Canadian, it's true, the Canadians love their Tims. But all I can do is save us money. I earn money by saving us money. And that is an understated value as a home caretaker. I don't know what mood. Yeah, it's mood. The only way to make money is by saving money. No more avocado toast. Make your coffee at home. I hate that shit. I hate that shit. I don't want to... I cook for myself because what I make for myself tastes significantly better, is significantly cheaper, and because I don't have to worry about part-time job work zapping away my energy, right? Because I'm home, and even though I'm working, like I'm working right now, this is work. But this work does not sap me of my energy to make food. It does not get in the way of me doing other stuff. Oh my god, I can't. Dude, I cannot swap jobs here. Okay. Was not expecting that. I forgot that Crystalline Conflict does not let you swap jobs after you queue in. It is not like Frontline. Nope. Not at all. So, let's go job. Then make sure that we just have like some basic combo stuff on here. Soul, Sky High. High jump. Elusive jump. Fortunately, like, you know, absolutely nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing can be said bad about me. Because literally there is no team chat. Returns with a yawn. How was the nap, Lucky? How was the nap? Sometimes get scolded for not wanting to get things from your family because you'd rather they pay for important things. Isn't that a mood? Like, that's just like an internal mood right there. I'm honestly just gonna try and like do my best. I don't know what I'm doing on Dragoon in PvP. I'm probably not gonna end up learning. Jumping attack. This is a jump back. Wait, hold on. There were some roll actions. On the left bar. Let's see if I can. Swift. Oh yeah, there we go. There's sprint. Guard. And it'll sir. Yeah. Okay. I feel bad for my team. They got someone who doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. But like, hey, you know what? When you go to the circus, you expect to see some clowns. Jet, what do you do to try and save money? Because like, for me, it's literally just like the basic, go to Costco, you buy, you just stock stuff, you buy your bulk buys. Go to Costco, you get the giant, huge-ass block of bathroom tissue, you get paper towels, plates, stuff like that. You get the ground beef that comes in that huge plastic tube, and that's kind of about it. I'm actually starting to wonder if that's even what I want to be doing, though, because I've started noticing that when I get the giant bulk stuff, there is like significant, there's significant fall off, first of all. Right? Because the more time that it spends in the freezer, the more the quality declines. And even though I can use up a decent amount within like 3 weeks, which should be fine, not a lot else I can do. So with really little to no money, cooking is always cheaper. You get the flavor you want, the ingredients you want is all upsides. Yeah, 100% agree. Cooking is like the main thing that I do to make things cheaper. Because like, oh my god, you can like try and save money by doing all the, you know, the shitty brand stuff. Like the no-name President's Choice stuff is what they have here in Canada. But like, there's just super low quality shit that I do not like at all. Cans are good from time to time. Cans can be good from time to time. I've got some tinned crab that I want to use, and like tinned tuna is also really good. I think tin works good for fish. I tried Spam. Fortunately, I think the Spam keeps upsetting my stomach. Which is a shame, because the Spam actually tastes pretty fantastic, if I do say so myself. It tastes almost like bacon, you know? Go to a farmer's market, please. It's amazing how cheap food you can get from farmers is. See, I want to, but this farmer's market that I am aware of is, I think it's currently out of season. It might open up like next month. So that's not really an option per se. So, hold on. What is your outfit? Cobalt tungsten kite shield? Not bad. Alright. We did get the crystalline conflict, and that's probably you. We'll go to Ideal Shire. We'll turn this one in and we'll go to a new one. We'll start working on that one. Y'all have seasons. We have one every month. Yeah. Oh, there used to be like a, I think there used to be a farmer's market that would be fair. They open regularly? No, that's not. We have specific seasons for farmer's markets here. And even back in Ohio, that was the case. I'm trying to think. Oh god, if we do manage to like get an actual like house, even if we have to rent or even if it's like a condo, I want my own goddamn washing, drying machine. I'll check, make sure that the POX are not gonna cap. Alright, we're gonna get a new book. Alright, new book. This one is Rival Wings. Rival Weens? This one never fires except during the MOG events. So, like, I guess that's good that the MOG events are going on right now, but that's hardly a comfort. Okay, let's just start from the top. First font is probably like the easy to start with. Been farming so many Mogdoms lately. There's stuff that I want in the MOG event, but like nothing I really need right now. So I have no motivation to actually like participate and do it. Oh, that was not what I wanted to do. You actually just have to watch out for Valakut because Valakut. Crazy. One of these days, there's gonna be like something really cool in the MOG tomes, and I'm gonna be living. But not today. It's not today. Oh, by the way, chat, I'm gonna say it again just in case anybody missed it early on. But I like trains. You know, I like trains. And there is a train game coming out next month called A Bumpy Ride. And I'm gonna go absolutely fucking feral for it. Okay, at least I can... Oh, wait, no, this is the second coil. And so, you will see the return of super long stream days. But it's going to pretty explicitly be, hey, guess what? Train game came out, and now Hero is autisming out. But honestly, it's actually pretty great if you think about it, because it is exactly the type of game where we should have like some really cozy chatting time for it. I am so excited. I am so excited. I try not to let myself get too wrapped up in excitement and expectation, except they had a demo. They had a demo for this game that I got to try. And just the base core game loop was so good for what I wanted that the fact that basically the demo was good enough and exactly what I wanted from a train game like this, that I feel confident saying, yes, actually, I am going to look forward to the actual full release of the game. Especially since they've been putting out shorts and stuff, going over the cool features and challenges that are going to come up with this. This isn't just going to be like, you know, driving around. There's going to be like actual things that you have to keep in mind. Challenges. You're going to have like mice that steal your cheese. You're gonna have a bear that blocks the rail, and you have to bring it honey from a station and get it off the fucking road, Snorlax style. Autistic VTuber likes trains? I can't believe it. Right? I mean, like, to be fair, like, you know, not every autistic VTuber likes trains. I mean, I do. Actually, it's funny. Jess posted a clip of Rin Penrose playing the Thomas the Tank Engine game. And normally, I might be all about that. But it also just looks like train driving simulator. As opposed to, you know, what Bumpy Ride is going to be like. Bumpy Ride looks very engaging. I'm not sure that I'm really into the whole Microsoft Flight Simulator style of game. Those would probably make for like good stream games, though. The Thomas game has a story? It does? Okay, like, I need to investigate this now, because when I was literally a babby, when I was a little babby, I was crazy for Thomas. Oh my god! And you know what the funny thing is? I found out quite a bit later that it is not uncommon for autistic children to love Thomas, in part because Thomas's neutral, very clear expressions and static presentation is just very autism friendly. And I was like, wow, that's a neat fact. I'm gonna share that with the people. Actually, isn't that a neat fact? Just completely oblivious to the idea that it might just apply to me. For me, local Thomas the Tank Engine enjoyer. And the funny thing, like, okay, I guess it's all kind of funny. But like, there was another point too, right? Where I'm watching the Rin Penrose stream, and she's reading chat, and she gets a detail on this show wrong. This show that I have not seen in over 30 fucking years. My brain snapped onto it like a trap and was like, actually, it was Henry that got bricked up into a tunnel, Castle of Amontillado style. Actually, he was having a huff about his... Yeah, actually, he just had enough. He was kind of going on strike, and they were like, actually, you know what? Okay, we're gonna do this like you're a little child. I was never so much into trains, but I remember doing the good old neat. I have Pokemon toys. I'm gonna line them up according to the Pokedex number. Yep. Honestly, I'm kind of... A part of me is sad that, like, I can't get those old Thomas the Tank Engine toys anymore. I would like to have, like, one. Just like one or two. Just to, have on the desk and be like, yeah, that's a nice little reminder of what I had back then. Actually, you know what I should do, though? I need to make sure that I have a great thumbnail for when Cozy Game for when Bumpy Ride comes out. Yeah, I need to make sure that I have a thumbnail for when Bumpy Ride comes out, so I can do this on the YouTubes, and that way people can be like, "Oh, hey, train game. Oh, hey, train game." And then they can come on and hang out while we do train game. The problem that I'm trying to work out, though, is that it is very much a Jackie game, and I don't know if I want to leave her alone to stream on her own. Because, like, she's gonna lose focus and attention probably after, like, a couple of hours. Which is honestly probably enough. I guess there's not really any issue with just being like, we're just gonna stream for like a couple of hours. It's just gonna be train stuff, and then we can go do our chores or whatever. Either eBay or flea market to get old toys. You know, I don't think about eBay enough anymore. In my mind, eBay has just kind of like disappeared into the background as that thing that everyone used to use, and now everyone gets funneled through Amazon. So like, why bother going through something like eBay when you have to like actually fight other people for the chance to buy some of this stuff? Even though I know that's not necessarily the case. Like, I was actually watching a video about how to get affordable Warhammer figures, and he's like, yeah, eBay is a really good spot for that, actually. Over here. Can y'all tell Jackie to just play a couple hours and then stop? Real question. I mean, like, we can. It's just a question of like whether she'll listen or not. There are actual moments where the echolalia and whatnot is so strong that I'm just kind of beholden to it for a bit. It's one of those very powerful hyper focuses and tisms that can really drain a gal, you know? It's almost like an impulse. it's almost like an impulse. When you just like have something that you need to do and you're completely beholden to it, and it's just like, it's easier just to go with it. Something like that. Ekalali is bad after watching an MBT movie. Sure fucking is. MBT does the Twitter freaks stuff that Braun and Kuria are really into. And it's not really my cup of tea. I think there's some pretty funny stuff in there, but it's not really what I want to put all my focus and energy into. I'd rather watch more informative videos, if that makes sense. Like, it's not that's not like informative. It does cover a lot of like real world events and all that, but I want to dive more into stuff that's more pertinent to the stuff I'm working on. Well, from Lucky, I still buy stuff on eBay from time to time. Usually old out of print anime when you can find a good deal. Yeah, that's not bad. Never heard of the curse story of the gaycation. So glad it's fake. I don't know that I want to know. And yet, that might be one for the... Actually, you know what? That might be one for the server. I might ask about the gaycation in this. So, like, here's the thing. My friend's mother does a lot of treasure hunting in, like, oh god, it was one of those donation centers. Yeah, she does a lot of treasure hunting and like thrift stores and stuff like that, and she loves looking stuff up to sell on her own personal eBay. She loves the treasure hunting aspect of the information. Oh god, she does not actually sell enough of the stuff to justify the storage that she has to dedicate to holding on to some of this stuff. It's insane. It's crazy, actually. The way that she just continues to buy stuff and then she's taking in so much more than she's actually able to sell out. That's mostly what I associate eBay with. But there is like some good stuff on eBay if you know. If I just like pop into, then I can go ahead and get that one with a party, and maybe I will get a second chance point finally. But here's the thing too, I just like don't have the money to spend on old toys and whatnot, you know? I don't have the time, I don't have the space. Also, we're once again back in the area. You know, not that I can, you know what? I'm not going to complain about constantly getting Heaven's Ward dungeons. I have not done these nearly enough, and if I never see a Realm Reborn dungeon again, it'll still be too soon. So, like, works for me. Let's see, it's a dark night, so it's gonna be just like a tad squishy, but that's fine. Nostalgia's for rich people. I think that's really what it comes down to. I think that when you think about nostalgia and you think about how it's constantly being repackaged and resold to us over and over and over again, it's really for the people who have income to spend. When you think about all the problems that are going on with Magic the Gathering, you really think about the fact that, oh, hey, you remember Ninja Turtles? You remember Star Trek? Not like, you know, new Star Trek or anything like that, but like classic Star Trek? That's all it really is. Let's be clear. That's why you love cards. It's like good art. You can play with them. Those are cheap because it's just cardboard, and you can store them easily because, again, cardboard. What was that? 500 cards can fit into a small box, and you're happy with them? Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good, actually. I still want to work on a cube. You know, maybe that could have been a stream idea. That could have been a stream. One of these special Hero Girl stream ideas is we just spend it working on a cube. We spend it on a project. That's probably not a bad idea. Let's come up with like project streams that we can do. Let's see. Corvus Corvade. Huh. We have like a couple of thousand count boxes in our, not closet, but like in a little cubby where we have all of our cards and stuff. Or stream idea when we work in a cube. Actually, I do really like Star Trek. When I was in college, my friend saved me a bunch of Best of Next Generation. A bunch of Q episodes were there, it's true. But I just really had a good time with it. We would come home after college classes. We would have just like some chicken sandwiches that her grandparents had in the freezer. Like they got chicken patties from good old chicken burgers. They call them chicken burgers. Do you believe that? Anyway. And the whole idea was that we were supposed to be studying. We barely studied. It was always just like watch Star Trek, have food. Okay, I'm gonna head out. It was awful. I was not a good friend. She was struggling in math. I was supposed to be helping her not struggle in math. It is what it is. I have my regrets. I've learned from them. I've learned from them to try and be a better friend. But I still always remember the Star Trek part of it. Lila loves DS9. I have heard really good things about DS9. I want to watch DS9. I just need a point where watching DS9 is the thing to do, and wife will make it happen. The only issue is that those types of shows are like an hour long. Like I guess right now we're watching One Piece, which is also an hour long, but it's something that's a lot easier for my husband to like be invested in, be interested in checking out. I really loves DS9, yeah. I want to get both my partners into watching Star Trek and Doctor Who. Unironically, really want to get them watching Doctor Who and Star Trek with me. Because I really like philosophical, thoughtful science fiction. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and pop a so that way we can just like clear off this mob better. I've only watched the Ninth Doctor, but I love this. But you loved it so much. I did too. Christopher Eccleston Doctor is really good, and I also appreciate that for him. It's just a job that he did. He doesn't have any particularly strong feelings on being the Doctor. Like the kind of guy who everyone loves the David Tennant. David Tennant's story of being a Doctor Who fanboy who finally gets to play the Doctor. Who I think actually had his daughter play Jenny in that one episode. Like, it's a good story. It's a good feel-good story that, you know, helps you remember that, hey, if you really want to do something, you can do that thing someday. But, you know, the world is also filled with people who are just like, yeah, actually, you know what? This is just my job, man. That's all it is. That's all it needs to be. I'm happy just, you know, doing what I love. And then, you know, you get the complete opposite where was it Daniel Craig? Yeah, Daniel Craig absolutely hates playing James Bond. Oh, get out of the way. Get out. There we go. Want to watch 10, but you're scared of 11 because you heard it's like Shadow Breeze in the same way the story now is very much about the main character and not as much about the world. I think that's about right. Because 11 was when Stephen Moffat became the showrunner for Doctor Who. 9 and 10 are really good. I think it was David Russell is the guy who was the showrunner for those. Stephen Moffat is really good at like singular focused storylines, less so for like entire series arcs. Just kind of ignoring every other problem that he has. You know, just on a technical level, he does good, secluded storylines. But no, I definitely felt the whole shift in focus with that. That was the other thing too. I really started watching Doctor Who with my friend. She was the one who introduced me to watching Next Gen and Doctor Who. No, that was. I don't know that it's quite as egregious as something like Shadowbringers, though. It's hard to say. I think 11 still does some interesting stuff. It just kind of depends on what you make of it, right? Like, if you are willing to accept the shift, then 11 does some really cool stuff. Just have to modify those expectations have caused me more heartache than I know that I'm setting myself up to be disappointed with Train Game if I just like have expectations for it. If you don't have expectations, you never get disappointed. But then you never get to feel the joy of, you know, being excited, which is also something that's very nice to have. I stopped getting excited for Christmas when I was like in middle school, I want to say. Like, it must have been late elementary school, early middle school. I stopped getting excited for Christmas because I realized Christmas feels like it comes sooner if I'm not excited. Therefore, I should not be excited for Christmas, and it will come sooner. And then I can enjoy Christmas sooner. And, you got it twisted there, kid. You got it just a wee bit twisted there. Tend to have negative expectations about everything going wrong. It makes it feel better when everything goes good or even great. That's the other thing too, right? Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. That is also a little bit of a that's very pragmatic advice, but it's also very nerve-wracking advice, because if you're always preparing for the worst to happen, well then, buddy, you're just not like enjoying life in the moment for what it is. And that is apparently also a very autistic thing to do, according to Laura James's Odd Girl Out, which I'm currently reading in preparation for therapy, because as we all know, you get a good grade in therapy when you do the assigned reading. Now Halloween, like Halloween, all of anxiety. Yeah, aren't we all? And see, here's the thing too, right? It's hard to say that any given trait that you as a person might be is because of autism. It's like, yeah, it very well could be part of autism. And it can also be because of trauma surrounding autism. Like, surprise, when autistic kids don't have a proper support network where they feel safe, they can very easily accrue trauma from being mistreated, even unintentionally so. So then you have to wonder, well, am I anxious because I'm worried about things not going exactly as expected? Or am I anxious because I never had the security that told me that everything was going to be okay? These are very, very real things to think about. And then you have to add in like literally everything else that comes with that too. Like, did you know for a fact that there are things? Hold on. What was I don't. I just couldn't figure out where I was going with that. Money trauma and being in constant survival mode also help to make you who you are, for good and for bad. That's exactly what I'm talking about, though. That's exactly what I'm talking about, because I am the exact same way. I've had to be in survival mode for like 5 years or something like that, and that is awful. And so it's like, well, again, now that I'm in a secure place, am I anxious because I'm expecting everything to go wrong because I've been conditioned by just the tragedy of life? Or is it the autistic need to have everything be predictable and regulated? And just like you have heckin' and then you just have heckin' ADHD on top of that. And you have to remember, oh, right. I can't just like do the comfortable things that help other autistic people because then my ADHD gets mad. And I saw a video talking about the politics of being autistic and diagnosed. Very often, there is the idea that because we're constantly updating the language can affect people's identity. It can affect how they see themselves, how they label themselves, and stuff like that. I am a big proponent that if having a word helps you to describe and communicate a thing that you struggle with, then it is a net positive. At the same time, though, there are people who will go, you know, this is the thing that I am, and now that is the identity of the thing. You know, people who are misdiagnosed as bipolar and then it turns out they're autistic, they go from being, you know, thinking of bipolar as part of their identity to autism being a part of their identity as opposed to just being a thing that they are. And so you really have to like balance all that out. Because what if the condition ends up being updated? What if we get to a point of understanding this condition even better, and then it ends up being something else? Is that you update? Are you gonna just update the wording with that too? Stuff to just like. Yeah. I have everything from Stone. I don't need to do Stone. What can I do? What can I do for you? What can I do that no one else can? You know, I'm gonna go to Orenvale. I think Orenvale actually has just like the highest upside return. Nope, nope. Dude. Getting random songs from Steven Universe. Always. Always. I have always seen random songs from Steven Universe. Look, chat, I am starved. I am starved for any amount of just stimulation. So when I am in a position where my mind is going to wander, like when I'm cooking, yeah? I don't have the ability to cook and listen to music at the same time. Or at least like not with headphones. If I put it on like, you know, a stereo speaker or something like that, I have to be cognizant of the fact that other people are trying to listen to stuff or read or be on the computer or something like that. So I really can't listen to music, or at least I feel like I can't listen to it. I can't watch videos. I can't watch videos. I can't read. If I do anything that takes my focus away from cooking, then the food is gonna get burned, or I'm gonna forget ingredients. It is awful. It is actually factually just straight up awful how the focus goes. So the only thing that I can do while I am, quote, trapped in a stimless environment is sing. Now, I can't sing well, but it's at least something. Moreover, I can only ever remember the tunes I can never remember the actual like words, so I can't even like sing the actual song. And so I end up making up the words as we go along. And even then, it's like they're not even like good lyrics. Just trying to like see what fits. Better than nothing. Yeah, pretty much. Stormvale's worth a run because like we can go over here, we can see if we get any. Nope. No leather. No Dodoro wings. The Dodoro wings are needed for the Uriel coat. Urias coat? Yeah. The Urias coat is like baby's first food glam. Do you need to have noise? Yeah. Yeah, there's gotta be noise. I'm starting to ask my husband for help. When I make pizza each week, I'm asking him to turn on music because I know that we have pretty similar music tastes. He's a big Linkin Park fan. He went so far as to get a pop socket with a Linkin Park logo on it, so like I think it's safe to say that he's a Linkin Park fan. So if he's playing music from his monitor, then at least I know that it's music that he likes. And then I can listen to that, maybe sing along with the music a bit. Honestly, go. And I don't want it. Alright, so now we gotta do 50 and 60. We're just gonna go back to Brave Flex's lawn. Wondrous Tales gives me so much stuff that it is absolutely worth doing, but like I'm gonna need to change up the grind at some point. I'm just gonna wait until after we finish Moogle chores to start doing Ishgard Restoration, I think. Because we are relying on Wondrous Tales to help bolster our ability to level up these jobs to 71. Once I get these to 71, I don't know that I need to worry about Wondrous Tales as much. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Kind of depends on what else we have going for us. Man was not meant to grind Wondrous Tales each week. We are not solo only. And yet, tell me how else I can make like gobs of NGP and tomestones and everything else. Wondrous Tales is in fact the lazy man's prayer. It was actually really nice to just like fish, and yet for some reason I feel like an hour is nowhere near enough time to fish. I think this was something I thought about before, but I don't know if I've extrapolated. I'm pretty sure the time it takes for me to do anything meaningful in Final Fantasy XIV is why I keep assuming that I need way more time than I do to actually play other video games. Like, remember when we were playing Lies of P on Monday? And I was like, actually, this is a lot of Lies of P. I feel like I'm running out of steam. This is normally where I would just go ahead and take a break. That was barely 2 hours. Most people, I feel like you would hear like, oh, you know, I can only play games for like an hour or two. Feel like, oh, no, you need like so much more time to play games like that. So like, why even bother playing the game? It's like, no, actually. You get a whole hour to learn a boss fight? That is quite a bit of game time, actually. Or maybe that's just me with my lack of simulation and needing to constantly change things up. The ADHD on this is hell. Airflux needs to hurry up. Crunch. Ow. I could have done a Guardian Restoration today, it's true. But even then I was thinking, no. 5 hours. Like, maybe that's true, actually. Maybe it's true that 5 hours would not be enough to do all the crafting even with the materials that Fraud and I have prepared beforehand. I don't know. Part of it was also like thinking that I was going to be doing Ishgard Restoration with Fraud, but I don't know that I ever actually made that a plan, or that I needed to be a plan. Gotta pick up this. I still have like other things I want to try doing too, but I'm realizing that those would actually have to be a week-long thing. And now I actually have to wonder, wait, hold on. Is trying to do those for like a whole week straight of streaming, am I gonna be okay with that? Am I actually gonna be okay with spending a whole week farming the near raids when it ends up being just like literally one near raid because I can only dedicate like 5 hours and each run ends up taking like 30 or 40 minutes? That's a real thing that I have to think about. And it's like, okay, I can do like four to six runs. We'll say 4 to 6 runs a day. Maybe that gives me a couple pieces. That's not nearly enough to get all of the glam pieces. So I end up having to focus on doing one of the near raids. I can do one of the near raids, but I can't actually do enough to potentially like fight the RNG. That would have to be a crazy person stream for sure. It would have to be like a subathon where I am just like streaming non-stop for a long period of time. Basically, I have no idea how long it's going to take to do anything that I come up with anymore. Like, Frog gave me the numbers to do the Pokemon tiering yesterday, and I was like, okay, you know what? That probably means I end up doing it for like the whole 5-hour stream. Maybe it leaks over a little bit into the next day if I really want to finish it up. We're lucky that I skipped an entire generation of Pokemon and had absolutely nothing to say, because otherwise we might have been cutting it close. Joined a hunt train. Did 2 marks? The third was in an area you don't have fight. The fourth you didn't go down there, so yeah, 2 is better than 0. Yeah, the Stormblood. That's right, the Stormblood hunt trains. Honestly, the hunt trains are just like some of the best things about MMOs. I maintain that they are one of the most MMO things that you can do in this game. I love the hunt trains. I'm really looking forward to. I just burned my sprint. I'm really looking forward to being able to do the hunt trains in Stormblood. But you know what's crazy? There isn't a requirement to like go after any particular fishing or gathering spot that I know of. For Heaven's Word. Not like there was for Realm Reborn. In Realm Reborn, there was Feast or Famine, which has you going to some specific locations to get some of the hardest fish in the game. And I love that. I don't think there's an equivalent in Heaven's Ward, though. Which, like, yeah, I'm sure Fron isn't, broken up about that. At the same time, though, I only ever feel like I'm really connecting with an area when I can start doing the gathering. And I just can't let the progress in the MSQ be contingent on finishing something like the fishing decks. You just can't do that. And yet, I know that this grind does not bring me joy. If I'm being honest, this grind does not bring me joy. The joy comes from doing things like hanging out and finding the special things in areas. So, should definitely, once the Moogle chores are done, work on wrapping up all those yellows that we have lying around. I don't think there's anything else outside of those yellows that I'm really missing now. I mean, like, yeah, there's technically the job quests. I can kind of do them whenever, though. Now, at some point, I might even just do the job quests for the daily grind. Because here's the thing. The job quest for Stormblood, I'm not going to be able to do until I can get level 70 gear. Like, the scaling on some of those final boss fights really just need decent gear. I don't know what to do. I can make holdover gear, but I can also get, like, tombstone gear. Make it easy. I'll probably just, like, do crafted gear just to hold me over while I'm farming Poetics again. The whole Wondrous Tales thing is just gonna... It's gonna be a long while. I expect Wondrous Tales to go on between Heaven's Ward and Stormblood. Huh. Weird that this is the second boss fight. For some reason, I thought I already did the second one. Oh well. My priorities are still just a little twisted, I guess. But it's in part because, like, what? The goal of doing Moogle chores is time gated more than anything else. So I'm really just kind of filling out time I might not have otherwise. If I really wanted to, I could spend the other rest of the time in Final Fantasy XIV mode, just like working on something a little bit more substantial. Like, I don't think it would kill me to have my jobs not leveled up to cap. What was I saying? Let's see. I do want the Poetics for doing the Anima Relics. Like 3 Anima Relics, though. Why are we doing Wondrous Tales? Why does Wondrous Tales consume our life so? That is the question. Just because it is like half an experience bar? I guess it's half an experience bar and the Poetics of it. I'm just about done gearing up from Shire gear, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I am. There might be like some weapons I need to get, but let's be real here. The weapons are good enough to get me through the job quest as is. That's all they need to do. I'm not playing through the rest of Heaven's Ward on anything else. So it's like we really only need to be doing Wondrous Tales once we get everything geared up. And then we can hold off. And then once Stormblood gets coming, we can start doing Wondrous Tales again. We'll even get Stormblood dungeons that we can do. We'll have access to better armor, so that way we can actually try our hand at soloing some of the Heavensward fights. Nah, that's not quite true. Or maybe it is actually true. If we can get like level 70 Skaven gear, Reaper might be able to clear. That's a possibility. Oh, I forgot about these things. Wondrous Tales scale according to the expansion you're in. So, Wondrous Tales is always going to give you half of the job that you're turning in experience bar, right? And then the content that it gives you to do is always going to pool from the highest level expansion that you have entered. So once you are in Stormblood and unlocking Stormblood content, it's going to start asking you to do Stormblood stuff. Now, it is also going to mix in previous expansion stuff, but it's not going to ask you to start doing, like, say, Endwalker stuff, which is a difference from how it used to be. It used to be that if you were at level cap, which is currently 100, then it would just automatically scale you up into doing content that you hadn't even unlocked. which needless to say is incredibly silly. Dungeon Master. Well, that's a problem. Yeah, I bet it is. Especially since you're on a free trial and you can't really like coordinate with with other people to help carry you. Haven't been able to defeat Ifrit Extreme. Don't think I'll be able to do any of Stormblood boss for Wondrous Tales. Yeah. Because right now, what you would need to do in order to clear Ifrit Extreme, you would need bare minimum. I don't think I was able to clear this one until I unlocked Viper. Viper is currently in Dawn Trail, so you literally need 3 more expansions to be added to the free trial before you can even get this done. Try doing Leviathan Extreme for 1 hour. It's just impossible alone. It's not impossible alone, but it is really difficult at your level, I think. Because right now, what I'm doing in order to clear Leviathan is I'm doing this on Viper. And Viper starts at a level 80 job. So that is Shadowbringer's level. Once Shadowbringers comes out, and the free cap gets up to 80, it should be easy for you to do all of the level 50 extremes. Like, that is actually the truth. Praying for that. I think there's I would be shocked. Legitimately, I would be shocked if they did not add Shadowbringers to the free trial with the next expansion. That is just, it's just what they've been doing for the past couple of expansions. First with Heaven's Ward, then with Stormblood. It's gotta be Shadowbringers. Trust. Breath of the Creator, Burden of the Sun, Weeping City Mock. So I have... Alright. You tease! You tease! I am one short chat. I need to be able to do like 1 more of these in order to actually clear. Let's see if I can do second coil turn 1. I might not be able to, but I might be able to. Cliffhanger from Shadowbringers, the free Endwalker is going to be funny. Maybe it might be. Okay. When I was playing through main story quest, I started getting into it when Shadowbringers was current. So when I got to the end of the patch cycle, that was explicitly leading off into Endwalker. Like, I was there and caught up with the next expansion setup right there, right before Endwalker. And then I was there for the Endwalker launch. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh shit, I can actually do this one. Alright, we're spared. We're saved. It's just like a mob rush with a giant chimera. I've been doing for Wondrous Tales is do Stone Vigil, mark it in the journal, spend a second chance, repeat it. Yep, that'll do it for you. Like, if you can use second chance points, that's fantastic. I have not been doing any of the Alliance raids, so I get no second chance points, like, whatsoever. The leveling roulette, not happening. Not happening. I am not seeing any of the sprouts anymore in level roulette. Now, granted, I'm only, like, doing it once a week, if that. Nah, fam. You gotta do, like, Alliance raids if you want to like, fish out those second chance points. That's just how it is. Thank God for second coil Bahamut turn 2. Like, this is just exactly what I needed. Oh, right. There's an actual fight at the... I don't remember the problem. I guess we'll just have to fight and find out. Let's see. This one actually has like some punch to it. Come on. Go, 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 go. Okay, fast fate. Look, the lady from Fate everyone likes for some reason. It's true. Unable to obtain high Alec and handcuff, right? Alright, there we go. Scammed. Scammed. Heavy scam. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and make sure that this is on Dragoon. And in... Whew, that's a whole Wondrous Tales done and over with. And since we're not really doing anything except just leveling roulettes right now, I can even queue in for a front line. Get Dragoon up to level 66. Take a look at the progress that we're making with jobs. Black Mage... Let's see. Black Mage is at 71. That was like the first one that I need to make sure it gets done. Casters are like in a really weird spot right now because we're going to be doing Red Mage through Stormblood. Honestly, when we get back to the point where we're doing leveling roulettes, those are going to be fine because we'll be running tanks and healers. I just need to get Astra to 80 and then I can start doing healers, other healers on leveling roulettes. And then we're guaranteed at least one. Do I just... Oh, well, So here's the question, right? So if I do a leveling roulette and I'm on a job that doesn't have like updated gear, like if I'm level 70, if I'm on level 70 Astro and I'm queuing into leveling roulette, but I only have up to level 60 gear, that is bad. That is bad. Like there is a minimum item level requirement to get into some things. I don't know how many of the story dungeons have that. But like that's a very real thing to have to think about. Oh hey, it's that map that I like. Hey! Honestly, just doing the daily grind for like a good 4 hours. We are gonna wrap this up in like at the top of the hour here because we've cleared out most of what we need. Was 2 hours actually perfect for the daily grind? Just like an hour, wipe out dailies there. Just an hour. Make sure our noodle chores are taken care of here. Wow, we got fucking bamboozled. We got fucking bamboozled by a surprise attack. And we drove him off. That's good to know. That is fantastic. I love seeing it. Oh god. I don't know if I have the stamina to do these 4 hours streams. But it's just like even doing like the regular stuff. Maybe eventually though. Maybe eventually. Even into 1 and 2 hours in the future. I am heartened by this though. I am rather than like disparaging me like, oh no, I don't have like the focus anymore to keep doing these super long streams. Well, for one thing, I respect for the streamers that can go long has increased somewhat. But I also know myself a little bit more. It's good to have these experiments once in a while to remind myself that no, the professional streamer life is not. As much as I might like it, as much as I might enjoy it, you know, I'm at a point now where I look at streaming and I go, I wish I could do just like a little bit more. I'm looking forward to doing stream again tomorrow or anything like that. That is a sweet spot. And to have your anime style training arc to increase that stamina. I'm not going on a death march. You ever read Ice Shield 21? The manga by Inagaki, the author of Dr. Stone, with the art of Yosuke Murata, the guy who would go on to do art for One Punch Man? Like, they worked together and they worked on a manga called Ice Shield 21. and I loved it. It was the whole reason I got into football back when I was in middle school. Highly, highly recommend. The anime, not so much. I think the anime is fine, but it's nowhere near as exciting because Murata's art, it just carries it so hard when you get into like the actual sports sequences. Heard of it because of the whole NFL connection that kind of went nowhere. Yeah, that was also a thing. That was also a thing. They tried to get sponsorship from the NFL and it just kind of petered out. But no, highly recommend checking out the manga. It's really fucking good. Really fucking good, especially if you're already a football fan. But anyway, they have like this whole training arc that they do after I think like 10 volumes or so, where they literally run from Texas all the way to Las Vegas. I think it was Houston. They run from Houston to Las Vegas, and it goddamn nearly murders the team. And we're talking about like, you know, some ragtag, you know, kids who are just now getting into athletics type stuff. And they have to do this because there's just no way for them to have a realistic shot at beating people who have been doing this for years of their life already. And I'm just gonna hide out. It's desperate. It's great. I love it. I ain't doing that shit. I might have had the inclination to try doing that stuff when I was a kid, but not these. Although there are some things that I probably should be doing for my stamina, like heading to bed earlier consistently. Maybe having just a little bit more fiber in my diet. That would probably help out. If I just like did basic exercise, like more than just like my daily stretching that I always start the stream with. If I did push-ups and sit-ups and stuff like that, when I was getting in shape for surgery, that was the most energy I think I'd ever felt in my entire life. Like, for real, bar none. And, you know, even though I am disabled in some capacity, like, I still have the capacity to do some amount of exercising. I need to get back to doing that. I need to get back to, like, setting aside just a good 15 minutes to work out 3 times a week. I can do that. I can do that no problem. I just need a spot to fucking do it in. I could do it on, like, a carpeted floor back when I was at my friend's house, but I can't fucking do that when I only have wood tile to work on. So yeah, I'll start working on sizing more. Football fan? Nah, not you. Created your own custom school in college football 2026. Yeah, no, it could never be you. Could never. Yeah, what was I thinking? Lucky doesn't like football. Nah, fam. Oh. You know, I thought about bringing back Madden streaming for the special belated birthday bash. The problem is, I know for a fact that's going to take too long. Because there's the preseason, which I never skip. That's 4 hours. There's the regular season, that's 16 hours, so we're up to 20. There's the the postseason, like, you know, playoffs. That's going to take another 4 hours. We're up to 24 hours. If I were to stream non-stop for a whole day, that would not be enough because, you know, I gotta read all the articles, I gotta record all the stats, I gotta do all the upkeep, college holdouts and stuff like that. So, like, we'll just pretend that that's like an hour. That's 25 hours. And then you do all the posts, you know, the off-season stuff. The draft, the free agency, writing down everything in the notebook. So, generously, we'll pretend that's like another 2 hours. 27 hours. 27 hours for one season of football. 27 hours for one season of Madden. And that's without having to play with a brand new team, right? I'm playing with a team that we've already established that I can win with. that we know, that we love. And even then, I'm gonna have to like reintroduce myself to doing all the buttons, to learning how to read the defense. I'm gonna want to put in practice mode. And that's gonna be, we'll say, another 3 hours. So now we're up to, congratulations, like an even 30. Doing a season of Madden wouldn't be feasible unless you sim through the games. Yeah, and it's just like, if you're just simming through the games in franchise mode, boy, what's even the, what's even, where are you sparking your joy? Real life ones are months longer. I mean, yeah, but like that's real life versus trying to like, just play the game. There's going to be a whole chapter in the video game book about Madden, by the way. There's literally going to be a whole chapter dedicated to it. And I realized that I have a problem with enjoying things when I know that they do not line up with my values as a person. And it's awful. It's awful because like I am adhering to the person that I want to be, and it's costing me the blissful ignorance of just like continuing to enjoy a thing. Sometimes playing NCAA on your PS2 just so you can get the off-season recruiting. I mean, I think there's something to be said about doing that when you're just trying to get through like the initial season, right? When you start a franchise and you're like, no, this is gonna suck. I'm just gonna go to the part where I can actually start building things on my own. Kind of like when you're a new hired coach or something like that, and you get brought into a team and you're like, okay, what do we have to work with? Okay, here's what we're gonna start doing in the off season. I love the crash out that I get to do during a season of Madden, during that very first season when I'm playing with the Cupcake team. Do you remember all that? Y'all remember that? I know that we showed the clips up a little on the Be Right Back screen. But like, I love the crash out. I love the I am fighting tooth and nail to keep this game close, and then they get to make their halftime adjustments and they fucking blow me out of the water. Like, the crash out that I get from that is like top tier crash out stuff. Very entertaining. Okay. Back. Level 66 on... Oh yeah, I did get them. Okay. What else are we using? Out crunch, out crunch, out crunch, out crunch. I'm gonna queue up for... I'm gonna queue for an alliance raid because I... Oh wait. Queue for an alliance raid and get a bonus. Like, back to Gridania so we can mash it out. Oh god! Oh my god, I am in danger. You know the feeling? Always create your own school when playing NCAA football. Very full inventory. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Fortunately, it's gonna take a little bit for these to pop, right? Also remember that if I run out of cap, there's just like so many things that I've been neglecting purchasing with these seals that I can buy through. So many seals. This is just like the other reason to make sure I'm staying on top of what your sales. You get so many seals. There are so many things that get gated by how many seals you have. It used to be submarines, but I'm pretty sure we are like super close on being able to finish some of this stuff. Actually, hold on. What can I get? What do I want to get? There is, let's see, serpent hatchling, some interior decoration stuff. Got attention at ease, reflection, scroll. Yeah, they have like actual factual loot boxes that I could like burn seals on if I really want. Did you buy the Chocobo Resetter? Tried a new build and it's awful. No! I've always just like gone full healer on mine. Maybe not like full healer, but like I've always gone primarily healer with a little bit of tank and a little bit of aggro. All right, what's this reflecting do again? Oh, it's actually just a facial expression. So it's a scam. Ah, hate it. I hope this alliance raid like actually pops. It says that we're currently for 3. I don't know if I buy that though. Go ahead. Just making sure that we're still on for doing BG3 stuff after I've had a chance to like relax and we can just like have fun, play with Fran, play with Jess. And then tomorrow we'll be back with like actual factual Final Fantasy Friday. And that'll be great because I'm looking forward to getting back to playing Final Fantasy VIII. I was enjoying that. I'm at the point now where I recognize that Final Fantasy VIII is not like a great game by any means. It is definitely not mentioned in the same conversation as some of the other Final Fantasies for a reason. I recognize that. I'm still glad that this is the first full Final Fantasy that I'm playing though, because now I'm not comparing it to other better Final Fantasies, and I'm hoping that's kind of the same way with 13, where 13 might have some actual issues, but because I don't have the context of the wider franchise, this is not an issue. And then remember that Fran got me the sequel Final Fantasy 13 games as well. Apparently these Final Fantasy games just like go on sale every so often and they're really cheap. We actually hit a level 50 rate. Would be amazing if true. I'm also wondering if I'm actually, I don't know or if I get second chance points from when I don't actually have a Wondrous Tales or not. Be interesting if true, sad if not. FF8 is a good teen drama. It's fine. I like the characters, but I also like feel like I'm doing a lot more of the work. I feel like I'm doing a lot of the work that puts me into, oh my god, I love these characters. I love them so much. I like their personalities. I like them. I feel like I am filling in the gaps and reading further in than what the game itself is providing for me. And that is actually something that you have to be really cognitively aware of whenever you feel like you like a thing versus like reading what the actual text says. I've had a lot of scenarios where, you know, it's very easy to read into a lot of a story and then feel like, okay, it's like this and it's like this. And like you fit. You know how when you read a book, it's very easy for your imagination to fill in the gap because the book can only do so much. When you read a story and it's like, okay, it describes what the character looks like, it gives some key feature details, it's only telling you a few of the detail. It's not trying to tell you verbatim what they look like. It tells you the highlights to help paint the shape of their character, and then your imagination fills in the rest. That's part of why, unless there are pictures, a character might never look the way that you do, and it's why people have different interpretations. But when you're playing a game or watching a movie, they might have like small lines that imply stuff, but they're really telling the listener to fill in the blanks themselves, and they're not like supporting what they're trying to say with evidence. This is like the real benefit to Show Don't Tell, Labyrinth of the Ancients. This is the Show Don't Tell has a messy history, but at least in modern writing and modern breakdown, this is how I choose to interpret it. It's that you need to build a case. You need to build a foundation for what you are trying to say, and you need to support it. You can have people say, oh, he is the strongest warrior of all time and all that, but you need to actually build a foundation that goes into more than just, you know, he said, she said. You need to include, like, the memories of, maybe not like the memories, but like examples of things that they've done, recounting stories. Like, if you want to tell a story about someone talking about someone that they knew, and they talk about how they were the strongest ever, you would need to include examples that they can talk about that, you know, support that idea. That is still a person telling you that their friend was the strongest ever. But now they're providing anecdotal evidence for why that's the case. They're not just saying he was the strongest ever. They're talking about the time that he fucking murdered a dragon. And they can just, like, talk about it. You don't have to see him murder the dragon. You just have to have the person telling the story recount the tale. Be a teller, be a pen. Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. Oh god. I am actually worn out from this, actually. I am going to, you know, as sad as this is, I am going to let everyone know that actually I'm feeling super worn. Sorry. 4 hours is 3 hours might be doable, actually. If I wanted to, like, stream just a little bit more on the regular, I think I could do 3 hours. 4 hours is too much, man. 4 hours is like, you know, we're doing the light aerobic workout, but we can't actually go from doing the light aerobic workout to, like, suddenly bench pressing the 350. It's just not gonna work out, man. It's just not gonna fucking work out. I am. I'm gonna enjoy the lie down, though. I feel like we raised quite a bit of money for the tattoo. First of all, I'll go ahead and, like, you know, leave the link up for Final Fantasy Friday tomorrow. But as it stands, we did raise quite a bit of money already, even if it was almost exclusively through Ron and Jess. Although, like, you know, thanks to Lucky, we hit our Twitch payout. So, you know, thank you there, man. Thank you. And all in all, if I take the Twitch payout and I add that to the actual goal, that should cover it. That should cover the cost. Now, I still need to... I'm still dealing with this fucking bank that won't activate my fucking account. I don't know. I don't know what else they need. I don't know what else I can do. I just don't know. I just don't know, chat. But I'm furious because I have money in my PayPal account I need to transfer to a real bank account so I can use it. Like I promise, I don't just commission people and send them PayPal stuff. I like use my money to buy actual grocery stuff too. Banks suck. They fucking do. At least when they don't work properly. Like, banks as an institution are... honestly, they're a necessity. Like, here's the thing, right? Money lending. Money lending is a very old profession. And it is incredibly necessary. Why? Because we're peoples of economics. For as long as people need to be able to spend money, they need to be able to borrow more money than they have. Especially when they're going for things like a house or like a car. I could not afford a car without a credit union to lend me money. And like, yes, I did have to pay a bit of interest on that, but I actually managed to pay that ahead of time, so it wasn't as much interest as I did. Oh my god, why are they letting so many of these skeletons? They really shouldn't be. Anyway. So as soon as I can actually get this fucking bank account activated, I'll be able to help make that cover on the tattoo, which is huge. Huge. Absolutely huge. That's unfair. It's banks could suck less if they weren't owned by small groups, because then there's a group of people who do nothing and are a bank. I mean, theoretically, it's fine on a group level, because if you're a business of a bank, you're a money lending business, you need multiple people to run a business. It's crazy when they're fucking Omega banks, though. When they're fucking Omega banks and they have CEOs that are earning 6 figures a year. Sure, yeah. But then at that point, that's less about banks. And that's more just like, you know, any fucking large business. That is like, you know, your Chase banks and whatnot. That is your... We're going to deliberately set policies that are going to earn us a lot of incidental cash because we understand human psychology. And that people who don't understand that they are accruing fees or even notice are our biggest cash whores. Pretty sure that. When did I get a dash? Level 45? No, Valve as a company is not my friend, but I'm thankful they're not in the stock market. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, like, Gabe Newell is not your friend. We have established this. But Gabe Newell is smart enough to understand that he should not be on social media running his mouth. As long as he continues to take the, you know, the low profile his way into success, I can't even say what I wanted to say, but I'm thinking about how part of why they have the AI disclosure is actually because of regulations in some states, things like California. So it's just easier to just have it on there blanketly than have it on there on like a state-by-state location. Gabe knows a guy who sometimes gets some coins for me. Good service. That's all. I mean, he was the guy who said that piracy is not a cost issue, it's a service issue. Like, he understands that. We just have to also, like, constantly balance the idea of a big corporation bad. And also, like, you know, don't just assume that because we haven't heard anything awful that they aren't, you know, thinking or planning or trying to do anything in particular. By the way, for this fight right here, in case you weren't familiar, we can't actually like, wait around until the succubi show up. I might not even get a chance to like whack the boss man. By the time that everything else shows up, it's just like everyone is just waiting to do something. Oh, God, I wish more companies would remember that they have the ability to shut the fuck up. That would be so amazing. They just like shut up. But they don't. They really don't. You know, there are people who don't know what the acronym MCU stands for. It's true. It's true. They don't. They live in a world devoid of the internet. And actually, this is a good sign that nature can in fact heal. The future can be bright, everyone. Marvel Cinematic Universe? Yeah, that's exactly what it stands for. It's not a trick question. It is just literally, they have never heard of the MCU. Which you would think is like insane considering the pop culture presence it has. But they're like just some people who are not plugged in. Like, if you think about how plugged in some people get, remember that there are people who aren't. For every type of person, there must, by the law of the universe and human nature, exist someone of the complete and total opposite. If one were to be if one were to want to put together a project, yes, one need only find the exact people who love doing the exact thing that you need to do. I.e. Oops, sorry. Just getting a random attack there. I.e. if you are someone who cannot fathom, absolutely cannot fathom how anyone would enjoy doing the type of work that you detest, well then by George, that person exists and you just gotta be able to go out there and find them. Yeah, they're splashing around in the lava. I don't have splash though. Huh. I wonder. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure like we're not supposed to be fucking having these guys tethered together like this. Anyway, my chemical romance. Yeah. Ugh. God, 4 hours is too much. I know I'm repeating myself, but like, think about this for a second. If anything was to convince you that this is a full-time job, like you just do it for the full hour moments, and then you're like, oh shit, man, I've run out of things to talk about after the first 20 minutes. They're totally gonna get my ass. Like the other day, people on Fox News were asking politicians what they thought about Hassan Biker. Most of them said who, because Fox News is run by people who think Twitter is real life. Yeah, that much is true. There's no lie there. Oh god. You know what's funny? It was the Reagan administration that got rid of the Fair and Equal Act. I.e., any news program that put on one point of view had to put on the other point of view. And that was when Fox News really got to take off as a thing, because they got to cater exclusively to conservatives, for conservatives, and grift nothing but conservatives. And now that they're all so radicalized, like, stations that still trying to do the fair and equal are actively doing harm because the other point is just so batshit insane that it's not worth considering, like, with any seriousness. Like, we could not put in the Fair and Balanced Act at this point. We just can't. It wouldn't work. You can't convince me that it would. People need to go out more. Talking with random people at like stores, street food, park. That's good for the soul. It really is good for the soul. Like 10%. No, I don't think. Team Behemoth is over though. Is that it? Oh no, that's right. We still have the whole. That's right. This is the one with the giant actually done. People need to pass the human test more, and I do not pass the human test. This is a fact of life that I need to learn how to move past. I am. Yeah. At what point, chat? At what point? So, like, this was something I mentioned to my therapist last time. I was talking about how, I'm coming to terms with being autistic, with, having to manage my ADHD. I'm unlearning how to mask. I'm learning how to take things in stride and make all these systems to adjust myself. But god damn it, there really is just like a threshold of I need to learn to mask, and also I need to make sure I have social skills so I am not disrupting other people and being a nuisance. Like, unmasking might mean stimming, and it might mean stimming in ways that people find uncomfortable. I need to find a way to channel my need to stim and do it in such a way that it's not actually like causing people disgust, harm, something like that. Maybe I'm overthinking that just a bit, but like that's certainly how it feels. Oh god, I am. Maybe if I had like, if I was sipping my energy drink, I wouldn't be feeling so exhausted from this. I'd probably actually be all right. But I think I was getting incredibly high strung when I was sipping energy drink. I don't have a way to know this for sure without just like subjecting myself to a peer review study where I'd be like, okay, this is what my energy level feels like when I have energy drink for a week versus this is what it feels like when I have energy drink for not a week. Good job, game. We got the shield up. Got enough social skills. Be the autistic person who talks about the autistic, who talks for the autistic people who freeze in public and can't say a word. Those same skills are low enough for people to not understand when you talk literally. True. True. Also, Tank's really gotta like remember to pull this guy off the center. Because like, Alright, chat. Can we wipe? No? Is that a paladin that tried to use their invul? No, that was a gunbreaker that was trying to do it. That was a gunbreaker that thought that they could find a way to live. Oh well. We're almost. And I will look forward to winding down and being like, actually, I am living a fantastic life right now. I get to stream for 2 hours a day. If I get to stream for a third, I'm going to get to do it with my wife. That is something worth treasuring, holding tightly to my chest. Thank you. Thank you all so much for being here. Supportive. Allowing me. This was a good past 4 days. This was a good past four days. And I am going to be doing something similar to this when we do the stream anniversary. I think that there's still space to do a big ass stream like this. I just don't know what it's going to end up. real quickly, let's go ahead and these clothes. Oh, they only give me crystals. Okay, no. They were gonna give me clusters like the extreme do, then like that would be nice. They only give crystals. Just don't rank all the Digimon, you'll die. You would have to pay me to make that something that I did, actually. Like, I wouldn't say, like, I'll never say never for just about anything, but it would have to be a hefty, hefty sum to make me rank, pure rank Digimon that way. Okay. So, chat. On the YouTube side, we're going to go ahead and end this. Remember that we are going to be back for Final Fantasy Friday. Thank you all so much for hanging out and for chilling. On the YouTube side, you'll be going to say goodbye. On the Twitch side, though, I'm also just going to go ahead and end things here. I am not feeling up for doing